We're going live because it's Comic Artist Pro Secrets Comicsgate Live. Comicsgate trademark live. How you doing, everyone? I'm Ethan Van Skyver. Great to be here today. Great to continue with the very last day of Cyberfrog funding. I am here with Nasser, of course.
Hello, everybody.
And Donald DeLay. How you doing, Donald?
I'm doing good, man.
How beautiful. What the hell is going on? Everybody has sound issues. I have a fuzzy on my hat. Everybody has sound issues all the time.
I don't have sound issues.
Not Nasser. He fixed those. He fixed them.
Yeah, having a sound issue.
I got my Blue Yeti.
Yeah. So no, you sound great. You all sound good. Good. Hi everyone. Today is the last day. It's the last, how many hours? The last 11 hours of Cyberfrog Blood Honey funding. We're at $75,112, which is pretty amazing. Let's see who's in the chat here.
Are we streaming 11 hours straight?
Yeah. I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep going. What's 11 hours from now? 2:46 in the morning?
Damn.
I'll just keep going. Let me tell you something. I'm getting good at talking. No Soilo hat. I never made one. I got this ironically when I went to Disney World, and I've worn it. It's actually kind of comfy, so I actually like this hat. I don't know what this is. What is this? LE? I don't know what that is. Is that Lucasfilm? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, no Soilo hat. We never made them. We made Fandom Menace hats, but we didn't make any Soilo hats, and maybe we should have. All right. What a day. A lot of people saying Vox. Yeah, I sat down today and I watched his video, and it was really strange. Vox's video was really weird. It was about me, and I mean, I feel like
he's in love with you, man. That's how it seems to me.
Is that what you think?
Dude, he seems like that weird guy in like junior high that's trying to get attention from his crush. That's how he seems.
He's pulling your hair and punching your shoulder.
Well, he's tried to get me to work for him a couple times, and I just figured it wasn't a good idea. When you have other options, you don't need to work for Vox Day. And, that's part of what Comicsgate is. Comicsgate is trying to open up other options for people. We are trying to make it possible. Let me fix my microphone here. We are trying to make it possible for people like Chuck Dixon to have more choices. And he can work for Vox Day if he wants. He can work wherever he wants. He can work for Ben Hennessy. Eventually he'll be able to work for Caps Lock.
Is it called Caps Lock?
I think so. Would you like all caps better? What do you like? Do you like something better?
Yeah, I liked all caps better.
Really? Yeah. What do you think, Donald?
I don't know. I kind of like them both. All caps would suggest that you're doing it by yourself, but Caps Lock would probably be better. It suggests that you might have more books out by other people.
Well, all caps also just means that everybody involved is a comic book pro, comic artist pro, secrets. So all caps would mean, look, we're all comic artists. We're all professional comic artists. So, there's something to
point.
That. Yeah. People want to be comic book artists. People want to be comic artist pros. I don't know how I came up with that name. I really don't. Seemed like a good idea at the time, but I'll tell you, it is a tongue twister, and nobody gets it right. Everybody wants to call it comic book artist pro secrets.
Cecil says cash grab secrets.
Yeah, so cash grab. Cecil, why don't you come in here? What the heck?
Bring bagel goose.
People are very excited that I'm using my microphone correctly. Can you actually see it? I don't think you can see it on the screen. Yeah, I am using it properly. It's facing the right way. It's a good thing. I got it right. Let's see what's going on in here. People are still talking about Robbie Rodriguez. Is that meme ever going to die?
I don't think so.
That's going to last forever.
Even if DC says something, it's still going to last. That is just like comedy gold.
Mm-hmm.
You send one guy a picture of your butthole, and then you're stuck with it the rest of your life. My goodness. Godiva is happy. He says, yeah, we can hear it. Hail Dark Lord. I don't want the name Dark Lord. I don't want it. I want to see if Custom Songmaker, thanks for $5. Can we boost Allison Tiemann, comic artist, kicked out of a con, blacklisted, dragged on Twitter by Mark Waid and SJWs because of Gamergate and men's rights?
Was that the chick in the documentary that was floating around in the group chat?
Yeah, I just watched it.
I haven't
watched
seen it
most
yet.
of
I
it.
watched like 5 minutes of it.
What'd you guys think of her?
That was depressing.
Yeah, I had to turn it off because it was like, no, I can't do this.
I kind of felt the same way. I watched about. Hey, Elliot Fernandez, how you doing?
Hey, boss. How are you?
Great. So we're talking about Allison Tiemann now. Allison Tiemann, who was from the Honey Badgers. Now, this is a weird situation for me because I started watching the video and I went, "What the hell is this?" Like, I don't know. I don't know the exact circumstances of this. Half of my audience are saying, "Help this person," and the other half is saying, "No, you don't know enough about this. Like, stay out of it. You don't know enough about it." And both of them are kind of like, there are no SJWs talking to me about this. So I don't really know the whole story. I don't know the whole story about this. And I'm afraid to kind of say anything without getting a complete, 360-degree look at this situation. Right away, my feeling is SJWs, you come out anti-feminist, you get blocked from conventions, all that stuff. Yeah, I get that. That's definitely pretty soy based. I don't know. What do
I
you guys
haven't
think?
had a chance to review the video yet.
It's a tough watch, man.
Hmm.
It really is.
Here's the thing about your show here, Ethan, is that you can invite her on and let her do her own talking. Like, you can interview her about her situation, even knowing nothing about it. You just ask questions about it, and she either reveals herself to be telling the truth or being a scam artist or whatever, and the audience determines what they want to do, if they want to support her or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair, Donald. I think that's fair.
Well, let me think about it. Bill, I get a lot of this. I wouldn't mind bringing on some more people. I'd love to bring on Peter Samiti after last night's epic.
Ooh.
Oh man, I was tearing up during that.
I've never, what I wanted to say to him, and I was talking to Andrea about this. We were watching this together. We're in bed watching the stream, and I wanted to reach in there and just be like, Peter, like, don't put so much passion and emotion into this, because these people are not real people. SJWs are not real people. They're not deserving of being able to hurt you and extract this kind of emotion from you. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve that from you. But he's such a sincere and genuine guy. And a thought went through my head over and over again, like, that'll change. That'll change.
Yeah, they'll beat that out of him.
Man, that was tough to watch. These people are insane. And I think I've seen, in the last week, I've heard of about, I don't know, like 3 ladies that have been, like the one in the video, sorry, I forgot her name, but there have been ladies that are like, oh, well, they unpersoned us and all that stuff. Like I keep hearing about Mindy Wheeler, and I'm going to have her on my channel tomorrow.
Mindy Wheeler's another one. Allison Tiemann was the one that you were just looking for. Allison Tiemann. I got to commit that to memory too. And that'll be Allison Tiemann. Think of Allison Wonderland. So Allison, and then Alice drank tea with the Mad Hatter. So Allison Tiemann. That's how you can remember her name. Memory tricks.
Yeah, but it's these talented people that it doesn't matter if they're ladies or minorities or anything. These people will go after anyone. They're insane. They are not people.
Yeah, I agree. And they're brutal and they're rude. And, you really do, like, it's almost like their whole purpose is to break you down. So it's like, I want to say to Peter, don't break down for them. Become a vampire. Become a vampire like we are. Like, literally lose your emotions when it comes to dealing with this. Drop them. Become anti-fragile. Star Wars Radio, thanks for $1.99. Keep it simple. Caps Comics. Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
That's not bad at all.
EVS just trademark Vox Day Comics. The Human Shrug, $5. Allison Tiemann needs our help. Yeah. Well, that's what we're hearing. I mean, I don't know. There's something about she's got $175 worth of legal bills because she sued. This is ominous. She sued for kind of defamation and all this stuff, and then lost. Lost. I mean, ugh, horrible. And now she's got 175. She's got to pay their legal bills. So imagine getting like unpersoned, and then fighting back, and then losing. That is so grim, dude. That just makes me feel cold inside. Yana Huel, just make hashtag real Comicsgate Trump style. GRP Paul, thanks for $2. Hail Caesar. The night was weird. Vox is a plague. Yeah, we're gonna talk about his video because I just watched it and I was like, he talks about me projecting, and then he calls me a con artist a bunch of times, and then it's like he's a con artist because he's taking your money. And where's his book? Where is his book? Where is it? It's coming out,
Like it takes time to make.
Yeah, I haven't broken any promises. It's coming out.
You in comics, bro?
But he said some weird stuff, dude. He said some weird stuff. He said one of his main points, he put up a graph, and the graph was like, what is the cost per page of a comic book by us versus by Ethan Van Sciver? And it's like, by us, a cost per page is like $1.37. By Ethan Van Sciver, it's $12,000. And the way he did this math is he divided the number of pages I'm producing, okay, by the profits I've made. So if you divide 48 pages into like $500,000, you get, I guess, $12,000, something like that. So he thinks like his math, and this is what he foisted off on his readers. That means Ethan needs $12,000 per page to produce a comic. We're much more slimmed down. We only need $1.37. I have never seen such hokum in my entire life. And for him to actually do that, like, I'm like, are you pretending to be stupid? Like,
Right.
you're calling me a con artist, and this is what you're. Oh, well, in that case, let's see. There were 251 pages in Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets, and it made $400 million. So that cost $1.59 million per page. How the hell did they afford publishing Harry Potter? It should have been. You can't do it. It's too expensive. It's $1.59 million per page. You can't possibly produce a Harry Potter book. I've never seen anything so stupid in my entire goddamn life. And I sat there and I watched him talk about like how he knew comics and I didn't. He doesn't know anything about comics. He's never published comics. We're a streamlined. We've got the infrastructure. No, you have an interesting distribution deal set up. The problem is your comics are, I'm sorry, comics are terrible. Your product is bad. It is. And I'm sorry for the talent that he's working with. That, Chuck Dixon's good, but it's a bad product. It doesn't matter where you put it. It just doesn't matter where you put it. It needs to be good. And good stuff sells itself. Now, his idea that I can only do this one particular way, that I can, bring in now $612,000 for the first issue of Cyberfrog, which is 48 pages, which actually portends to great success anywhere I put Cyberfrog, not just through this marketing strategy, not just through crowdfunding. This means that people want this.
Yeah.
The pages are already done. This is the way it works, Fox. All I have to do is break those books down into 22-page books at between $4 and $5 a piece, put a new cover on them, make them sloppy, like cat spankers, make them floppy cat spankers, and solicit them through Diamond.
Cat spankers.
I love that.
My first project is Cyberfrog 1 through 3, and that's going to make an additional amount of profit off of the same amount of work, Fox. But that's not all. I'm in
Wait,
talks with
there's more.
I can't. It's like playing with a mouse who thinks he's really smart. And I'm not that smart. He's like, Ethan thinks Ethan's dumb. I keep telling you I'm dumb. I'm not that dumb. I'm not so dumb that I would try to sit there and say the amount of profit Ethan makes divided by the amount of pages in his book is how much it costs to produce the comic. There is no moron on the face of the world that would believe such a thing. I mean, it's astonishing. It is. It was. I just looked at it and my jaw dropped. I had to call Andrea down. I was like, "Look at what he's saying. Look at what he's saying here."
So he's supposed to be like a hyper rightist, right? So shouldn't he be a hyper capitalist? What?
Yeah, well, I think so. I think he would see himself as a capitalist. I think he's doing this for profit. But what he's trying to sell people is the idea that he's got a slimmed down operation. He showed Amazon.com, and he's just like, look, I've got 2 books, maybe it was 2, maybe it was 3 books on the Amazon graphic novel top 10. That's great. That's pretty easy to do, basically, because all you really need to do is use your social media platform to just say, hey everyone who watches Comic Artist Pro Secrets, go over there right now, just click buy it now on the Cyberfrog book that I've got up there. It'll get sent right to your house, and I'll be number 1 overnight. Being on the top 10 in Amazon doesn't mean anything. It just doesn't mean anything. So he's like, you see 3 of my books here, where's Ethan's? I don't see Cyberfrog here, do you? Think about it. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, and so I watched this and I just thought, okay, look, I got to debate this guy. Like, I'm going on the kill stream with him, and I got to debate him. And I'm just thinking, like, I overthink this, and I'm just like, this must be a trap. Like, this must be a trap. He must just be pretending to be stupid. Like, he must just be like, this is his fake argument. But he's offering this argument to like all of his viewers. This is going to stay on YouTube. Is this part of some grand scheme? It's weird. So anyway, contacted my lawyers today, and I just presented them the video that 2 other lawyers made on YouTube. And I said, I don't want to, we're not going to talk about this too much right now. I just want you to watch this video. I want you to then do a trademark search. I want you to find out if it is true. Do I have ownership claim over the word Comicsgate? Why? Why would I? Why would I? Well, because I'm the first one to ever use it and monetize it. As far as I know. Now, Vox says I had it in a blog in 2017. That's almost interesting. Other people have used it in blogs forever. I'm the first one to actually make money off of it. I'm the first one to call a show, Comicsgate Live, and have it monetized and make a significant amount of money. Look, it's coming in right now. Look at the super chats on my Comicsgate trademark live YouTube show. Now, I'm deeply concerned that his comic book line, and by the way, look, we got 1,125 people watching right now. 1,125 people watching. That's a lot of people. And I'm deeply concerned that those people might be confused and think that Vox Day's comic book product is related somehow to my very popular YouTube show.
That's a very good argument.
Very concerned. So I can't, I gotta do something. So my lawyer said, yeah, good. Let's do it. Let's go. Vox is now backed out of the debate.
Officially?
Yep. That we were going to have on the kill stream. And here we go. I mean,
Hey, Ethan, I'll be back in a few minutes. I got a phone call.
Yeah, go take it. It's probably, who it is. Yeah, so that's where we are right now. But I mean, I watched the thing. I watched him call me a liar over and over again. There's no evidence. He's got no proof that I'm lying to anyone. I think he just wanted to continue to put liar next to my name. He wanted to call me Ethan Van Soiver or Two-Face Van Soiver.
What a douche.
I think that's funny, actually. And his thing about lying was I've sent him emails And so he knew what I was up to. Well, Vox, did I ever respond to any of those emails? And the only emails that I ever responded to of yours I showed today. Now, I did find the emails that you sent, that you said that you sent. I did find them. I believe they went into my junk file. And I did find them by searching all mail. And one of them seemed to be, it looked a lot like some automatically generated email suggesting that Vox had added Comicsgate something or other to something. I didn't open that. I didn't see it. I didn't respond to it. And as for Vox suggesting that I knew ever at any point that he planned to open up a comic book label called Comicsgate, that's just untrue. Now, he did say, I need to protect this. You know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to file a trademark, blah, 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 to protect this from the SJWs. And I went, well, I think I probably went, yeah, it's probably good. Wasn't really paying attention. That's my fault. Was not aware that he was planning on doing a comic book label called Comicsgate. I just wouldn't. He's like he said it wasn't a good idea, but he didn't say no. Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't. So again, if he has recordings of those phone calls, that would be interesting. But in any case, I believe that I do have, if anyone has a claim, a copyright, or a trademark claim, I should say, to the phrase Comicsgate, just based on, what I've already used it for, it's me. And the only reason why I would want it is to protect it for everyone else. That's the only reason why I want it. I don't want it for any other reason. I don't want to own it. I don't want to be the king of... Vox actually said, Ethan, you guys think Ethan's your leader, but he's actually a follower. He follows you. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly right. I've said over and over again, I'm not the leader of Comicsgate. I said that I answer to the people. It's like I answer to the citizenry of Comicsgate. I don't lead this. This is a public kind of thing. It's its own cause. Who could own this? Who could lead this? We're all just equal citizens trying to make our own comics. So yeah, when you guys say, if you guys were all, the majority of you were to say, hey, just leave it alone and let the Comicsgate label go, I'd probably be like, yeah, all right. But it seems like most of you want to fight for this, so that's fine. We'll fight for it. We'll give it a shot, guys. We'll give it a shot. I do have lawyers. I'm willing to fight for it. I do believe after watching that one video by Nick, and he had a copyright attorney with him, I do believe I have some claim to... I believe I have claim. I have legal claim to the phrase Comicsgate. And I believe that what Vox is doing will confuse people about my claim and my show. So, yeah, let's do it. Why not hire Nasser as your assistant, says Tippy Tail McKitty. If Nasser lived near me, I would. I totally would. Custom Songmaker, Medicare is mad at her boyfriend. She says she's a beggar, but her books look great, and she has 2 trade paperbacks printed in boxes in her attic ready to ship. Oh, so Medicare is mad at her no, I totally read that the wrong way. So we're talking about the girl from the Honey Badgers. All right, Medicare's mad at her boyfriend. Says that she's a beggar, but her book looks great. She has 2 trade paperbacks printed in boxes in her attic ready to ship. Okay. Again, yeah. GRP poll, special thanks to Donald with the D, being a war campaign last night. Great dude, fun to chat with. That's cool. I love it. What do you think of all of this? What is your opinion, Donald?
On the Vox situation?
Yeah.
I think it's just crazy. I think he's insane trying to go after something that the people created. The people basically created Comicsgate. I mean, one person named it, whoever that was. I don't know. I don't care. But it's the people in the community that make Comicsgate. If he took it, they wouldn't let that happen. And if he continued to use the name, they would just use another name. They would come up with something else.
All right. Hey, Honey Badger Radio. Are you? So she's here. The Allison Tiemann is here in the audience. Would you like to come on? Are you on? Let me see if you're on Twitter. Are you Honey Badger Radio on Twitter? Let's see. Let's find out. We'll bring you on and we can talk through this. This will be interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, it looks like I see Honey Badger Nation. Okay, wait. Somebody tell me where she is on Twitter. Allison. What? Can somebody help me and tell me like where she is? Oh, okay. I'm also Typhon Blue. Typhon Blue. At Typhon Blue. Spelled it right. I don't know. Okay, next. Typhon Blue. All right, let me see if I can give you the link here. And you can pop on and we'll get to know you a little bit. And decide for ourselves. I'm very tough. Very tough. I'm very discriminating. All right. There you go. Oh, this user doesn't follow you. Okay. Discard. Hey, Typhon Blue, go and follow me real quick. Okay? Because otherwise I can't send you anything. And that is the thing. It looks like you're not accepting stuff from no, I see Typhon Blue, but I just got rejected. Typical. It's a story of my life. Elliot. I know, it's just a story of my life. Elliot Fernandez is here, by the way. He's got an art book called Black and Red. Elliot, what's the art book about? Like, what is it?
He had to step away.
Oh, Donald's here. Elliot. Okay, Donald, I thought you stepped away. All right, let me put this in the thing anyway. Got to get organized here. Eventually, we got to get organized. It's a very professional show, Donald.
It is very.
Yeah, you can't really complain about this. Back.
Well, it's a lot more professional than mine is.
Really?
Than my YouTube, which is just my phone hooked up to a very terrible arm clamp. It's a very broke ass.
All right, let's try again to bring Allison in here. Hopefully she's followed me now. Oh, no, I just totally... Wait a second here. Let's try one more time. Oh, good, Elliot. Hey, I just put your book in the chat. Tell me about your sketchbook. What can people expect from it?
Oh, man. I could tell you right now. It's going to be... it's exciting. We're actually... we're debating now because... Not debating. We're strategizing, my partner and I, about what to do because we expected this to be a short run. We didn't think it would be as successful as it's already become. And all things being relative and such, but so we're actually trying to figure out now maybe a stretch goal, depending on where it goes, because I think we're gonna exceed the the initial 200 print run that we were thinking about. We were, like I said, this was an opportunity for us to try to create something that we could be successful at and prove that we can produce it and get it fulfilled properly. I loved the conversation that you guys were having about all that, and I wanted to be down with that. Sounds like Antonio. I'll be down with that. But the art book itself is just a compilation of a bunch of artwork that I've either done as a commission or as stuff that I created specifically for the book, based on these principles of graphic design and using fields of color, basic color like red, black, and white. The original idea was just a Joker illustration I had done with just the Joker face with the silhouette of his body holding a scrap of Robin's costume, and I thought, man, that was a cool idea, and then it took off from there. So it has become kind of a staple in my Instagram feed. A lot of my commissions are requested that way now. So it's mostly fan art, or characters from the other companies, but I'm excited. What I want to do for the next volume, after this one gets funded, I want to do even try the same thing with musicians and other kinds of artists in there as well.
Nice. Let's see how you're doing right now. You've got $2,778. You are now at 29.18. That's great. That's great. So we're selling some books left and right, guys. Support Elliot Fernandez. The link for his book is in the description below the chat. Let me read some of these super chats. People are panicking here. Let's find out what's going on.
Oh no.
Yeah, they are. Alex G says, you ever draw Mary Jane professionally? New Spider-Man game seems to have given her the SJW treatment. How important is being hot to her character? Very important. She's a model. I've never drawn her professionally. Darth Bobcat, we need more piano playing. Yeah, I'll do a piano playing style video soon. I will. Overton Windex, Karen Strawn has a great video about Allison's case. Junior Ruiz, check out Gusto Early to Rise on Indiegogo. Thank you. Definitely Lex, watch Medicare's Money Badgers video. Sounds like Medicare doesn't like Allison. Justin Panelist Siegeway, $10. Thank you. Advice from a philosophy student for Killstream. You tend to say CG is for everyone and follow it up for CG is for people who believe X about comics. This is contradictory and you seem like a gatekeeper. Yeah, it's interesting. No, Comicsgate is Comicsgate is not for everyone because we don't want SJWs in here. The phrase is comics are for everyone, and comics are for everyone. Comicsgate and the support of Comicsgaters is a philosophy, and it isn't contradictory at all. We do want our comic books to be for everyone, but getting the support and backing of this community, you have to kind of, be supportive of a certain group of ideals. Warren JB, £3 for saying hokum. Thank you. Justin Panaluishi. Instead, I suggest saying the community collectively agrees that CG is for anyone who believes X about comics and the comic industry, and there are certain radical beliefs we reject. Example, Vox. Well, that's pretty much what I just said. Pristine, but very more eloquently put. Thank you, Justin. Pristine, Texas, $5. Allison just wants to do another fundraiser, this time on your show. Watch Medicare's video, MRA Badger Hunt. Texas, $5. At $8, 8 minutes and 47 seconds. Well, we could do that later. Matt Savlar, thanks for $5. Vox is as intellectually dishonest as the SJWs. He should never be trusted. I'll never support anything he's associated with. Thick Wids, hey Uncle Ethan, watch Mr. Medicare's video on the honey badgers. It'll tell you all you need to know about these women trying to get on here. Okay, so that's in reference to Allison. Taxman, $10. Allison may be worth helping, but throwing your hat in with her publicly comes with a lot of baggage. I'm not throwing my hat in with anybody. You guys asked me to put her on the show and let her talk. I haven't, Allison, so you understand. I'm not. I don't know anything about you, so I'm not, in support of you or against you. I have no opinion, and peer pressure doesn't move me either way. I'll decide for myself. I'm my own man. She is a men's rights activist, so that means opposing feminism, which is a dangerous fight. Let me think about that. A. Russell, Cyberfrog rules. Schnick, the Virgin Theo versus the Chad Ehe. Alec Munoz, here's a little bit to help fight this junk EVS. Thank you. Pal Edom, Flaccid Day is a high-functioning moron, but I digress. Allison Tiemann needs at least an interview on your channel. That's what she's going to get. Obo299, Ethan, Mr. Medicare, and Honey Badger don't get along. Not smart to defend her right before going on Kumite. It's a trap by Vox fans. Hey, Allison, are you hearing all this?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Custom Songmaker. SJW is pushing men out of comics and culture is a men's rights issue. Allison Tiemann and Honey Badgers have fought what we're fighting for years. Same. And here's Justin again. $5. Damn, Vox backed out. I was hyped and ready to be your cut man.
Get the Vaseline out.
Yeah. So that's the thing here. All right, so what do you say, guys? Let's talk to Allison and find out what her story is.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
One thing people need to understand about your channel is that you're like a radio talk show host, something you've expressed you wanted to be. And just because you have somebody on doesn't mean you're endorsing them or backing them.
That's right.
You're interviewing them and getting a point of view. You could very well have someone like Ren Famous on here. That doesn't mean that you're supporting her. It means
Certainly
you're getting her
not.
point of view, and you're trying to create content for your show for people to watch.
That's correct. Well, that's why I've had Vox Day on. I've had Mark Waid on. I've had Dan Slott on. I've had lots of people on. I don't mind. I'm trying to hear a story here. Allison, how are you? My name's Ethan Van Sciver. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I guess I'm okay. Thank you
Okay.
for having me on.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. All right. So, what happened? Let's start with your comics. How did you decide you wanted to be in comics?
I have actually been doing comics for quite some time. My introduction to comics actually came through ElfQuest, of all things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love the characters and how she drew the original series, and
The
from
peonies.
there I started to do some of my own work off and on, and I'm also done a lot of work on writing novels, so a lot of storytelling, and I've written quite a few novels. I actually sent my first novel out when I was 18, but it didn't get published. So I just really gravitate towards storytelling, and the Xenospora comic, which is the comic that I was talking about in my crawl space. That was originally a novel, and then my husband, who has dyslexia and doesn't like to read, said, "Why don't you make it a comic book so I can read it?" So I did, and it was something I started working on in 2008. In the video that I put up, one of the reasons why I started working on it was my mother died of lung cancer in 2007, and we had a fairly difficult relationship. But at the end, after she had gone through all of this very painful treatment, and up until the end, she had actually, sometimes taken out a lot of her frustration on me. But at the end, when she made her decision that she just wanted to move on, I remember walking down into the place where we had set up her bed that she needed, and that we had like a nurse's station, and I was expecting to get, the whole litany of complaints, but she looked up at me and she smiled, and she like opened her arms for a hug. And it just really impacted me, because I had seen this not just with my mother, but other family members who had gone through a terminal illness, that at the end, everything sort of fades away. And what you're left with is the love that you have for your families and friends. So all the petty stuff just goes away. And they're so grateful for their last moments to spend with each other. And I watched this whole process, and I started to think about, why did we have to face the end to get to that point? And so I started writing a story that explored that question. And the background of the story is that it's the far future. There have been waves of colonization. So people have been sent, or humans have been sent out in these waves. Each wave has its own philosophy, its own reason for leaving, its own technological context. And now it's in the far future, and they're starting to meet up again, bump into each other again. And there's war and genocide and hostile standoffs and all kinds of problems. And the story follows two characters who have every reason to hate each other, but through fate, they end up meeting before really knowing each other's backstories, and they end up falling in love. And then eventually they have to face the decisions that each of them have made in their past, and they have to ask themselves a question: how much can I forgive? And so the whole overarching story is really about these separate strains of humanity coming back together again and figuring out how to love each other again. So that's the story. And I'd been working on it for 7 years. The first volume took 7 years to write, because I kept revising it. I was not happy with the artwork. There's certain aspects
Because you were watching Morton Downey, not Morton Downey Jr., Maury Povich. That's what happens. You get distracted by Maury Povich, let's see, and Jersey Shore reruns. And before you know it, if you watch the first Jersey Shore, you're watching the whole season. The whole season. You're not going to stop.
I'll have to take your word for that.
Be forewarned. Whatever it is that you were watching on TV, it shouldn't take 7 years to write a comic book.
Well, I mean, I was doing other things during the time too. So I was finishing up my major, and like I said, I wasn't putting full time into it. But,
I'm a hard hitting journalist. I just want you to know she's not getting away with nothing on my show.
Okay, all right. With the second volume, after I had figured out my process and worked it through the story, only took 4 months. So there you go.
Okay, all right, very good.
I learned. I got better.
So you put out your first book. Did you solicit it through Diamond? What did you do?
I actually just the thing is that there was a comics book store owner in Saskatoon, not owner, an employee who took a look at my comic when it was originally just a few pages on the internet and said, "You need to publish this and sell it at conventions." And I was like, I think that's a good idea because I actually really enjoy the process of sales. Sales is like an extension of storytelling. You tell a story until somebody says, "Hey, I want to be part of that story," and then they buy in. So I decided to print out my first volume, and then I debuted that in the Saskatoon Expo. That's the town or the city closest to my town, and then I printed out the second volume. And I was going to debut it, or I did debut it at the Calgary Expo, which is the one where I got kicked out.
Does Canada suck? Is it like, in general, like I get the sense that it's not as fun to live there as it would be in the United States. And I don't know if you're living in Saskatoon, would you want to move to Chicago or not Chicago? Where would I want you to live? Definitely Florida. Like Florida would be better.
Yeah, Florida's cool.
Yeah, it's more fun. This is the thing. I always go up to Toronto and I'm like, yeah, it's nice here, but like, I don't know. I just don't like how far away it is from the equator. Like that bothers me. I want it to be closer to the equator.
Yeah, it's pretty cold. Where I am, it's quite cold. It gets very hot in the summer and very cold in the winter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to move though. My husband's family is where I live. And we've lived here for about 7 years. It's just a really small town of about 1,000 people.
Where do you stand on trebuchets?
Trebuchets?
Yeah. In other words, how do you feel about flinging people who are discordant with society into the air, possibly to the moon, possibly to Mars via an enormous trebuchet located somewhere in the Andes? Trebuchet Alpha, it's called. This trebuchet is absolutely enormous. It's counterweighted by a few booster rockets from the space shuttle, probably about 12 of them. It should be capable of launching a human being into orbit out of the atmosphere. Now, scientists have told me, I do have NASA scientists working on this. I do have sketches. Scientists have told me that people do burn up upon leaving the atmosphere. It's quite possible that they will burn up and not survive. But to me, it's worth a try to try to fling people from the Andes Mountains to Mars, especially SJWs. How do you feel about this? Be honest.
Be honest.
Funny, Allison.
It's a serious request.
Yes.
Will they have some way of surviving on Mars?
I don't care. I don't know. Yeah, sure.
If they saw that Matt Damon movie, they will.
Yeah. We'll send that with them.
Okay. If it's an honest question, I would say that I think that people's stupid beliefs shouldn't be capital crimes. But maybe if they could survive on Mars, maybe that would be okay. How's that?
I don't want to make that my business. I just want to get them off the planet. I want to get some of these SJWs off the planet. And where they go from there is up to them. It isn't my business. It's like when they throw you out of a bar. I don't care where you go, but you can't stay here.
Just get out, eh?
Yeah. Boom, out of here, trebuchet. People like this. People like this idea. If
Maybe
I
we
ever
could
do,
have like a giant trampoline on Mars, like a big bullseye trampoline.
That'll be fun.
Okay, yeah. I'm okay with that. That'll be my alibi. I put a trampoline there. I mean, they should have been fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They
So
should learn how to free fall so they can hit the bullseye.
How are you supposed to know where it is when the planet rotates?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, we'll take our best guess, but I do have NASA scientists working on this. That is the point. And they have given me sketches. They have given me designs. I believe in them. It's science. Science denier. All right. So anyway, Allison, so you got your comic book out. What happened? Let's cut to the chase here. What did these vicious feminists do to you at a convention in Canada? And it figures it would happen in Canada. What did they do?
Well, as far as I can reconstruct, because this is sort of a reconstruction of the individuals in question and their ties to each other. It's like an excavation of the past. Sam Meggs, who at the time was an editor of the Mary Sue, does not like me. I found a Twitter exchange in which one of her friends said she was upset that there was even a men's rights activist who came from Calgary, which is obviously me because of there aren't a lot of men's rights activists in Calgary who are very prominent. So they were talking about me before even this entire thing happened. And from what I can have constructed of all of this, I pissed her off. And then when I went to the convention and I had a booth to promote my comic at that convention, and it was a lot of work. I'm not just a comic book artist. I'm also like an installation artist. So I did a whole backdrop. I had a space funnel. It was really cool. And at that convention, I'd set up the booth. The first day was fine. In fact, it was so fine. I was like, well, maybe this Gamergate conflict isn't that big a deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, no. That's what I was thinking because it was so mellow the first day, and I had because Gamergate. Just to pull back a little bit, I had gone to a Winnipeg convention that was completely independent, but it was so big. I have social anxiety, so it's difficult for me to be present in the public for a long period of time. And the Winnipeg convention was like 11, 12-hour shifts. And by the end, I was having panic attacks. I was completely burnt out. And then the Calgary convention coming up, which I had signed up for, was even bigger. And I actually appealed to Gamergate. So would you like us to go to this convention? And you can see people at the Honey Badger radio, and I'll film my comics, and we'll have fun. And I appealed to them, and I actually paid for my own travel costs, but they helped pay for the travel costs of other members who couldn't pay for it. And they did so because it was helping someone who has trouble with social situations out to have more people around who could help me with that. So essentially, Gamergate got a woman into comics. And as a thank you, I put their logo up on my banner. And that's the only reason why I did it, as a thank you. I didn't do it to promote Gamergate or necessarily bring the conversation into a place where everything was politically neutral. I just did it as, hey, you helped me get here. You helped me be present here. You helped me sell my comics. Thank you. Thank you for making this possible for me. And it was that Gamergate logo. And then the evening of the first day, I went to a panel called Women into Comics. And it wasn't actually listed as a feminist panel as far as I can remember. So, and
Women into comics or out of comics?
Women into comics.
What the
And
hell?
when I went there, we record everything that we do at these events because we later on create a patron overview because of the people who got us there, and then we can give them like a fun hot takes or clips of what we're up to while we're at these events. And I was recording the panel, and I thought it was going to be like networking, how to perfect your art, how where to sell stuff like that. Instead, the panelists started talking about how they were victims of the culture and how they were victims of guys going up to them in comics books stores and asking them about the things that they like. And they called this nerd testing or something.
Yeah.
And I was listening to this and I was like, what? And then one of them started talking about why can't we have a conversation? Why can't both sides talk about these things? Why do men's rights activists want to get women out of comics? And I was like, okay. And so I said, I stood up and I said, well, would you like me to answer that question? And they said, okay. And I said, because I'm a men's rights activist and I can sort of tell you what we think.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they said, okay, go ahead. And I said, well, the reason why we don't like feminists necessarily is because
They smell.
they smell. Is because they make women out to be victims.
Yeah.
And this is after I'd been hearing them making themselves out to be a victim of the comics culture. They make women out to be victims. And that doesn't just exclude men from the conversation, so the issues that men face.
Mm-hmm.
It also defines women by victimhood. And that's what I object to. And then we had some back and forth, like not like really just like a conversational back and forth, like what we're having.
Yeah.
And I sat down, and they were like, "Okay, we'll take other people from the audience." And I was like, "Yeah," they went on. There was a long discussion between them and other people in the audience who brought up their own concerns and thoughts. And at the end of it, I'm like, "Wow, that was really civil. That was nice, you know." And then one of the panelists, Brittany LeBlanc, tweets about the panel, and she says, the Women into Comics panel was interesting, especially with men's rights activists in the audience. So it was
Brittany the White. Her name is Brittany the White.
Brittany LeBlanc. Yeah,
That means the White.
Brittany the White.
Not to be confused with the gray.
Yeah. You know what? I'm getting totally triggered by something right now. Do you know what it is, Allison?
Uh-oh.
It's not you, Mike. The serious problem. Your bookshelf.
Uh-oh. Sorry, do you want me to turn off my...
No. I want you to explain yourself. Why do you... Ready? Talk. Let me talk so you fill the screen. No, I'll just do this. Look at that book on your shelf right over there. All American Ads from the 1980s. Why do you have a book called All American Ads from the 1980s?
My husband really likes advertising. Like he collects advertising.
So do I, but why not All American Ads from the 1950s?
I think we have it.
This is the superior volume. The 1950s was the golden age of advertising.
I'm pretty sure we have that one too.
There was nothing. There was nothing in the 80s. The 1950s, All American Advertising Ads of the 50s. You have the 80s.
You know, there was some interesting stuff going on in the 80s. You got, oh gosh,
Patrick Nagel.
Oh, that's true. Well, the Duran.
Yeah, exactly.
Die Hard.
Classic stylized women with lots of lasers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we also have the 50s one. Actually, I think what we have is a compendium of Mad Men or something. It's
I like that. Yeah, I like Mad Men. I do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like the way it was marketed is these ads from the 50s, but it's called the original Mad Men or something.
Okay.
But we also, the 50s are represented. Don't worry.
So what I want to know is now you are banned from all conventions, from all. Can you go to MegaCon Orlando?
I would have to find out if, well, okay, first of all, the thing is that it's the operations manager for Western Canada for Informa who said that, or threatened me with being banned from all conventions.
Mhm.
We've sent a letter and an open letter to Informa. Informa hasn't actually responded. I'd have to find out if that convention was under Informa's umbrella first, if I could answer that. Because Informa actually has its
Inform.
tendrils in everything. Like it's huge, and it's basically taken over most of the fandom.
Can you go to Wizard World?
I'd have to look it up.
I'll bet you
but
can.
wouldn't want to.
No, Wizard. They don't have Wizard World was big at one point, but now that was where I got to meet Allison from Smallville, the one in the sex cult.
Oh, lucky you.
Good
No,
times.
it wasn't lucky at all. She didn't tell me anything about a sex cult. I had no idea. I had no idea about the sex cult at all, and you wouldn't know that by talking to her. You wouldn't know she was in a sex cult.
Well, she only recruited women.
That's true. That's true. And you don't
She
look
wouldn't-
that lovely, Ethan.
She wouldn't talk to
I
you
wouldn't
about
say
it.
that. I mean, all right. So don't go to. Well, I don't know. I mean, go to Wizard World. I think the Wizard World shows are pretty good. Now, basically, what you're saying now is because you have been kept from all of these Informa conventions. Informa is a brand of convention. It's
Yeah,
I
what
mean-
cons do they do?
They do the fan expo cons in Canada now. They do everything that was under the Calgary Comics and Entertainment Expo cons. So that's pretty much in Canada. I think that pretty much covers coast to coast. And I know they also do conventions in the U.S. I'd have to look up specifically the conventions that they own.
Oh, wait.
They own like a lot of them. There might be smaller conventions that they don't own.
They don't own San Diego.
no, they don't. Nobody owns San Diego.
They don't own the Reed Pop shows, do they?
The Reed
Reed
Pop
Pop
shows are
owns
good.
them.
Yeah, those are really good shows. Those are the pop shows are good. That's New York City Comic Con. That is what else is Reed?
Emerald City
C2E2?
and C2E2.
Me too, yeah.
I've just put a link to a blog that's talking about Informa and huge corporations owning cons.
I see that.
Yeah, they basically just suck all of the conventions they can up. They don't just own fan conventions, they also own yachting conventions, business conventions. Essentially, I guess the exit strategy for creating a convention is to build it big enough and then sell it to Informa. So they're like the Google of conventions.
Mike.
Yeah.
Can you bring your wife in here for a second, please?
I cannot. She's not
She's
here.
right back there.
That's my daughter.
Oh,
I can bring my daughter in.
she doesn't know. She's not going to know.
Can you bring your cat in?
Yeah, bring the cat in here.
When can I talk? I have to ask your wife a question.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is
The cat's not going to help.
Baron. Baron von Gickenkin.
It's just a typical tabby
Humbert
cat.
von Gickenkin.
It's not impressive. It's just a tabby cat. Everyone's
He's
seen
an
one of
American
those.
short hair.
It's got mackerel. It's got mackerel markings.
Everyone's seen one. They all look the same.
Well,
He's
no,
cute.
some have tiger markings, some have mackerel. That's a very handsome cat.
Hey, so I found a list of the conventions that they own.
I was just there too, yeah.
All right, get that list. So seriously, let's make a list. Let's subtract the conventions they own from the conventions that they don't own,
That is all.
and let's figure out what we can do about this.
They're gonna kick me out of MegaCon Tampa.
MegaCon Tampa.
Yeah, you also have to include the conventions that have explicitly said they don't want any Gamergaters there. Because I have the mark of Gamergate now.
What is the mark of Gamergate? Is that the
That's
thing that
just being
Alice?
associated with proponents of Gamergate. Like it's just with
Oh.
my name and Gamergate are now tied. So
It's like the mark of the beast.
yeah,
No, because Allison from Smallville did that. She actually branded women. Did you know that? She branded women with a branding iron. I'm not kidding about this. This is for real.
Yeah, it's true.
The sex cult. She branded them right like in their lower abdomen, like as property, and it was her own initials. Carson,
It was two sets of initials. It was her initials and then the whatever her weird guy was. I don't remember. Yeah.
Or master or whatever.
That guy was a men's rights activist, without question. The guy who Allison was working for, that guy was men's rights now. And you've got to be. You've got to be men's rights in order to have a sex cult. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I just posted a picture of the list in the group chat.
Yeah. All right. So what can we do about this, Allison? What's going on? So now you're stuck with crates and crates of books. I saw the part of your video where in your crawl space of your attic, there are crates and crates of comics. How many comics is that?
I'd have to relook at the invoices. I think that's about, I think I did 1,500 each volumes.
That's it. That's 1,500. All that is only 1,500.
No, 1,500. 2 volumes. 3,000.
So 3,000. That's. Oh my God! I've got 20,000 comics coming to my house.
Yeah, you can look forward to them taking over your house just like that. I hope you have a crawl space.
Oh my God! I'm gonna go live in the crawl space. What the fuck?
Do you have any land? Maybe you could build a
I'm
shed.
gonna be living in cardboard. I hired a fulfillment service. I hired a fulfillment service. So
Did you? Good job.
The books are going straight over there, and the fulfillment service is nearby. So
That sounds like a smart move.
It's not called trebuchet.us, is it?
No. But wouldn't that be great if we could actually deliver comics via trebuchet?
Maybe you could take all my comics and put them in your trebuchet to Mars.
Yeah.
And then they can go entertain the social justice warriors. Maybe that's good for them.
That'll show them. Yeah, let's do it. I'm for it. Now, listen, Allison. So the problem is now you've got all these books. You've got nowhere to get rid of them. Now, you can't solicit them through Diamond. It's not going to happen. I mean, what?
I've been told to do that. It was actually somebody who recommended at one of these conventions to approach Diamond. I haven't. What happened after I got evicted is I was so and I feel ashamed to talk about this. I was just so choked up by everything that had happened that I couldn't even pursue a lot of this stuff. And part of it is that when I was kicked out and when I did that, when I talked to the Women into Comics panel, and then Sam Maggs, Brittany LeBlanc tweeted it out. Oh, it's interesting. Then Sam Maggs picked it up, and she was the editor of the Mary Sue at the time. And she said, "Oh, this happened? Tell me everything." And then they obviously had a conversation behind the scenes. And the defense eventually submitted one of their emails that indicated what they were talking about, at least in part. And Sam Maggs essentially showed Brittany LeBlanc. After Sam Maggs saw this tweet, she sent out her own tweet and said, panelists, I heard that men's rights activists were in the audience of the panel. You don't have to talk to them. And we were doing a stream at the end of this just to keep people up to date with what we were up to. And we saw that tweet during the stream, the update stream that we were doing. And so we talked about it. And one of my friends, Sage Gerard, actually called Sam Maggs a cunt. And I remember saying, no, that's not fair. And Sage had real bad issues with feminists in academia falsely accusing him of stuff. So I understand why he was angry. But I told him, that she wasn't the one who did that to you. So it's not fair to call her a cunt. And
it's not fair.
Yeah, it's not. Well, I mean, you can't.
It's not nice.
You can't call someone a cunt before you realize it.
And you can't prove it.
Yeah. So, well, she actually at that point had engaged in a lot of really negative behavior towards men's rights activists and anybody who questioned feminism.
Cunty behavior?
Yeah, cunty. I think they settled on cuntesque behavior. But anyway, I defended her, but in part of it, I explained more of what I was getting at with saying that women are feminists reduce women to victims. And I said, it was sad to watch the panelists don their ball gowns of victimhood and sort of parade around. Oh, this man asked me what I'm interested in, and it was like he was testing my nerd cred rather than making an awkward pass at me. But or even just being interested in what I was interested, or interested in starting up a conversation. So I said that they were parading around in their ball gowns of victimhood, and she said, and Sam Mag sent this. Brittany LeBlanc never watched the entire stream. Sam Mag picked out time codes for her to watch and respond to. And Brittany LeBlanc, and that's my conjecture because I don't know how else Brittany found exactly the moments in an 1.5-hour stream where I referenced her without watching it. So Brittany LeBlanc responded to that and said, I don't understand what she was getting at. Well, what I was getting at is that they reduce themselves to being victims of situations that they wouldn't do for men. And that makes women lesser. It makes them seem weaker and less capable. And they use patriarchy as sort of a stand-in for why that isn't the case, but patriarchy has been actively disproven. So they're just left with this desire to make women out to be victims of things they would not say that men are victims of.
I don't think the patriarchy's been actively disproven. I'm sitting right here.
Okay, well, outside of
listen. Can we see your art? What does your art look like? What does your art even look like? Is it good?
I guess I could. I don't know how I'd get you some files.
Oh, well, you can't just hold it up and say.
Oh yeah, I could, but I have to leave the room. And just a sec.
Okay, we won't talk about you behind your back. Yes.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes, we will.
I was actually just discussing something similar to this on a stream.
Yeah.
They need enemies. They need to make everyone who doesn't think like them into the bad guys, and they do that by this victimhood mentality. Because if you're a victim, that means someone has victimized you, and the victimizer is therefore nefarious or evil or just a horrible racist misogynist ist whatever the ist is of the day. And the example I was using was the term cis. Right now, everyone to them, anyone who refuses to use their new word, their new speak, is
I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, Mike. Mike, can I just? You look like even more Asian than usual. And usually,
thank you very much.
Yeah, usually you don't look very Asian, but today you're rocking the Asian look. I gotta be honest with you. You look good.
But yeah, so anyone who thank you. I think that was a compliment. Anyone who refuses to just use this new speak word of theirs is automatically transphobic, because we can't just say we're just average, everyday, normal people. Because if you use the word normal, they jump and scream and yell at you for being transphobic, because only everybody ever for history has used the word normal. But suddenly, if we don't use the word cis, we are victimizing them. And so that's their whole mentality. It's it's how they get up on top of us, is by claiming that we're evil because we're victimizing them. And by being victims, it gives them the moral superiority over us in their twisted little minds, at least.
Mike, every time you say cis, I think of Dr. Pimple Popper.
Not cyst.
Well, yeah, I think you're right, Mike. I think you're right about a lot of things.
Usually.
You're often right.
What's going on? I just got back.
Nasser is never right about anything.
Nasser, run away. There's a girl here.
We're talking to, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Allison Tiemann of the Honey Badgers. Everybody in the chat is saying, kick Allison. They're saying, get her out of here. I refuse. Not until I hear the whole story. I don't know what's going on still. For the life of me, I don't know what's going on. When she comes back, we will find out what is going on. Or at least we will look at her artwork and we will judge for ourselves if the artwork is good and worth paying for.
Why do they want her out?
They don't like her. I don't know. Most of them don't like her. I'd say about 90% of them are against her, big time, and they're saying get her out of here. And I don't know. They know more about her than I do. I don't know anything.
And she won't toe the line.
That's what it is.
I still want to know why she didn't try. I mean, she knows about Twitter. She's using all these different platforms. They're doing podcasts or whatever. And why not use something like Etsy or something like that to sell the book?
Yeah, I know. There are a bunch of different ways. Allison, no. Allison sent me a link. No. I can't do that. Just bring the artwork in here and hold it up. Just hold it up.
Okay, I've been trying to send links, but
I know. I see them, and it says request access to.
This is my first volume.
All right.
I don't know how well it gets. You can see it.
I see it. Looks good.
Yeah, that's the front page. The first volume. I guess I'll show you some of the artwork. So it's a little bit awkward.
Look at that. I know. It's hard. I have to do this too sometimes. Doug always has to hold up. We have Doug Apple here, and he always holds up his artwork. But don't worry about it. People just are getting the idea.
Another.
This is all your artwork, pencils and inks?
Yep.
All right.
And that's the first volume. And then the second volume is this one. I went a different approach. I started to do mostly color. I felt a lot more confident with my art with the second volume. And let's see if I can find some good examples. Here we go. Mostly conversation, which is a little bit. Let's see if I can find something a little more interesting. Here we go. Face scene.
Allison, hang on a second. All right, we have some Vox Day people in here. Now, earlier, do you know who Vox Day is by any chance?
I do know. I do know Vox Day from Sad Puppies.
Okay, good.
Rabid Puppies.
Rabid puppies. Yeah, he likes the rabid puppies. So Vox Day has turned against me with a vicious vengeance.
Okay. Oh, so I should stop. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Let's. Well, you can feel how you feel, but look, somebody in the chat, Vox Day has decided. Vox Day is getting into comics now. And I said this earlier, but we've got some of Vox's people in here. They're saying some pretty funny things, and I enjoy them. Master, I'm going to throw you the hell. You are.
Hold up.
Seriously, I'm going to press the button that opens up the pit underneath your chair, your squeaky ass chair, and you are going to fall to your doom.
Vacuuming now.
You're going to fall into
I didn't even move my chair. What happened?
Where people's souls scream in torment for eternity. I'm gonna destroy you, Nasser, if you don't stop it.
You heard my chair.
I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to make a point, and you're making all kinds of goddamn noise. And you're being
what noise am I making?
You're being disrespectful to Donald. You're being disrespectful to Allison.
What did I do?
Disrespectful to Elliot. And who cares about Mike? You can be disrespectful to Mike.
I hate you, Mike.
But you gotta.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna mute you.
No, what are you hearing?
I'm hearing a noise that sounds like an electric elephant coming from your.
An electric elephant.
I can't describe it any other way. It sucks, and I'm trying to make a very important point. You're embarrassing me in front of our guest.
And Mike is Asian, so that probably triggered memories of Hiroshima.
You are exactly. Mike,
Memories.
Sorry.
I totally remember that day. It was the worst.
Tora.
All I saw was colors.
Mike, take cover. You can't take cover. There's nobody was prepared with a bomb shelter back then.
All you can do is strike a pose so your shadow sticks on the wall, right?
Yeah. I think your shadow would look good though. You've been working out, you know. If you were annihilated in some kind of if you were annihilated in Hiroshima and all it was left to do, was your shadow. Honestly, I think you'd be pretty good. My shadow would suck. My nose would just be like. I would hope it wasn't a profile shadow. I hope it wasn't a profile. All right. So anyway, what the hell is? Oh yeah, we're talking about.
Vox's people. Can I say something really quick? Those
Yes.
freaking Vox trolls have been coming onto my stream and saying all this freaking anti-Semitic crap. And my wife and kids are Jewish, and I let it roll off my back, but that's just dirt. Those people are dirt.
We got anti-Semites in my stream too all the time, and like and I've got these nice Jewish guys who are just like, I know you don't support this. I know you don't. I'm like, I'll my gosh, I don't. People are allowed to say what they want to say, but yeah, we don't support anti-Semitism. We find it disgusting, but we do at the same time support freedom of speech. And then also we support firing people into space via a trebuchet. So we're very complicated. And if you want to call us hypocritical, you can do so. You have just cause. But that has nothing to do with this. This is Vox Day. Vox Day decided he's getting into comics, and he wanted to tell everyone why my model of making comic books isn't going to work. And what he did, Allison, you're going to dig this, even though you like Vox. I think even if you like Vox, you're going to dig this. He said, look, Ethan has raised $610,000 on Cyberfrog Blood Honey, and his book is 48 pages. That means if you divide 48 into $610,000, Ethan Van Sciver needs $1,200 something per page just to make a comic book. We come in much cheaper. We come in because we've produced 3,000 pages of comic book work. And if you divide that into our profits, we only need $1.27 a page.
Are those his actual numbers?
I swear to God.
He's really bad at math.
You've got people in this chat right now going, there's Ethan Van Sciver, the $1,200 or $12,000 a page.
$12,000 a page. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Can I ask some questions? I know I'm not the interviewer.
Go ahead.
How much did you ask for in the original?
$8,000.
$8,000 for a 48 or 42 page.
48-page book.
A 48 page. That seems well on the low end.
That's right.
In terms of actual cost to produce a comic book. Why would they be holding to you to the fact that you obviously did a pitch that really resonated with people? You hit a nerve, and people decided to give you even more than that. Like, how can you be held responsible for that? And
how can I be held responsible for my charisma and excellent marketing?
Exactly.
Great sales pitch and fantastic comic book idea.
I hear that, and I'm like, can you give me like a seminar on
I would, and that's what this channel is, actually. It's a seminar in how to do that's what Comicsgate is.
That is
I graduated from that class.
Mike, people are saying your wife is beautiful in the chat.
I will not argue.
Okay, I thought you should know that.
Thank you, chat.
So I mean, I don't understand what they're upset about, because if you asked for a reasonable amount, and then for whatever reason your pitch was great, you were charismatic, you hit it at just the right moment to get people's interest. Yeah. Like, why would they have a problem with the fact that people voluntarily contributed to that? And also $1.25 for a page of comic book, I wouldn't even want to know what the heck
that's his cost. That's what he's saying. I think that's what his cost was.
What is he drawing it on? A piece of photocopy paper?
I don't know. Why are all his artists
paper cost more than that?
Why are his artists in poverty and screaming at Mike S. Miller on Twitter?
I'm confused. Like, how much can you possibly pay? $1.25. Like, I paid for volume 2 just for the coloring, like $1,500.
Yeah.
And that was about, probably 68 pages. Like, that's, you can't get decent art for $1 whatever.
I don't know what he's talking about. He's basically saying, look, I produce comics in, he's like, in bulk. And because I produce comics in bulk, I can bring him in a lot cheaper. This is like an Ed Wood style pitch. And basically, in contrast, because I earned a tremendous amount of profit on a single book, that means that in order for me to do another book, I need that much money per page. So instead of this being an extraordinarily successful project, that just means that I'm very expensive. And in order to get me to do another one, I'm going to need $12,900 per page. That is the hokum that Vox Day is pitching to his credulous supporters. Now that's interesting. So Harry Potter, the first Harry Potter book, then by that logic, Harry Potter, 251 pages, sold $400 million worth of copies. That must mean that Harry Potter costs $1.59 million per page to produce a Harry Potter book. How the fuck did J.K. Rowling afford that? How did she do that? How do you do a second one when it costs you $1.59 million a page to write a Harry Potter book? It's outlandish. It's crazy.
Vox doesn't know much about capitalism, does he?
Vox doesn't know anything about anything, but he's very good at talking and very good at convincing his people that he's got a point. Ethan doesn't know anything about comics.
I think Vox secretly works at Marvel.
Well, you certainly know how to sell them.
He's very
After
funny.
8,000 and got 600.
He's got a whole bunch of people in here going, Ethan costs $1,200. He's scamming his people out of $12,000 per
I
page.
still don't get it. You asked for $190 a page. People voluntarily gave you up to 12,000. Like that's
Less than that.
$190 a page is perfectly reasonable for pencil costs, inking costs.
Oh no, that $8,000 wouldn't have even covered shipping and printing.
Yeah,
I offered to debate him. I offered to debate him on a neutral territory. I was going to go on the kill stream with him, with Ethan Ralph. I said, I'd love to talk about this with you. And he backed out today. Your Dark Lord backed out. He pussied out of the debate with me. Bring me your chair. Bring me your red velvet chair, Vox. You're looking at the new Dark Lord. Sorry.
Those blue eyes.
Man, I'm gonna get Fox Day people in my comments now.
Yes. I hope so.
Okay. So 190, and does that include printing costs too?
I don't know.
Because that
It would have been. He would have ended up doing it for free, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's all
You
they
know,
got.
if you're paying your artists a reasonable wage, it's all going
He
to
is
go
the
to your artist, and you're going to be paying for the printing and the shipping.
Yeah.
I would have said,
Well, it's not. Listen, when you see the big $610,000 number, that's not what I put in my pocket.
No.
It costs a lot of money. I got to produce these beautiful comics, and I've said Cyberfrog is going to be the Lamborghini of comics. Spare no expense. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. It's my best artwork. It's going to have a nice chromium cover, like it's 1991. It comes with all these bonus features, like a great DVD. It's going to look like, it's just physically, it's going to look like a comic book from 1991. Remember when they looked really pretty on the stands, and you wanted to
I'm excited for it.
So that's the money that came my way, and I'm going to spend as much of it as I can making this book an excellent product. And then I'm going to do it again. And my attitude is that if I market my comic books this way, there's no end to this. I'm not saying just give me enough to just give you a newsprint. No, I want enough money to make a comic book that makes all other comic books tremble with fear if it's sitting next to it on the stands. I want a beautiful comic book. And when you market it that way, people do listen. People go, hey, I want to be a part of that. I want to back that. I want to support that. People get excited about that. That's called marketing. They don't do that in comics anymore. Everybody's so like mealy-mouthed and sad. Be excited. Look at Mike S. Miller.
Right.
When I found Mike S. Miller, he was just flinging shrimp into people's mouths at a Benihana. Now look at him.
was he using a trebuchet, like a little?
No, he was
using my tool.
volcano onion on a grill. Now look at him. He's making $80,000 an issue on his comic book. He's doing it his way.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to be real scared of Mike.
85, almost 86.
$86,000.
Wow, that's incredible.
You guys know I used to be real scared of Mike. I always thought he was scary.
I get that a lot.
He is Nasser.
I think
Like-
yeah.
Like if you go back to the first stream I was on with you guys, and I started talking about the Image Days, and I was like, you had the best 7 artists, and Mike starts shaking his head. I couldn't stop stuttering. I was like, I was so scared. I was like, what did I say?
You know, for me, like the fact that you were able to motivate so many people, just it says that, you know, you got them excited, you got them charged up for something.
That's correct. That's what Comicsgate is. That's why we own the name Comicsgate. That's why nobody can take it away from us, because people recognize that it's a mark of quality and excitement and enthusiasm. People want to be a part of it. It means freedom. It means creative freedom. It means artists, creators who have trouble finding work at Marvel and DC, who get forced into drawing soy-based versions of Peter Parker. Making that face. Did you see that face? Who drew that? They can come here. They can abandon that wreck, that flaming wreck, and they can come to Comicsgate and have fun. Have fun. Do your own thing. Make some money. Be on this show. Be on this show.
Word.
We got Elliot over here. Look at Elliot Fernandez just joined us. Elliot Fernandez did a sketchbook. He's got a sketchbook up there. And he was having... Elliot, how were you doing on your sketchbook before? I mean, before you came to Comicsgate, it was at $606, I think.
It was lower. It was actually at around $4 and change.
$400 and change. You're looking for $750 to make this sketchbook.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see where you're at right now.
You joined us funded or something.
Yeah, you joined us yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Yesterday. You're at $2,959, 395% of your flexible goal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Ethan, you know, I already slid into Elliot's DMs asking him to work on something.
I know you have, Nasser. That's very smart of you. If you find these artists, you get them busy first.
Biggest foreign comics.
Graveyard Shift by John Malin right now. Graveyard Shift. He went off on his own after the success of Jawbreakers. He's got 2 weeks. He's been doing this for 2 weeks. He's got 2 weeks left. He's made $51,272. Congratulations to him. Brand by Antonio Bryce and Kanan White. Antonio Bryce is my co-host in the mornings. He was stuck at Kickstarter. He made $95 trying to get this book funded on Kickstarter. He joined Comicsgate. Now he is sitting at $26,869, 179% of his fixed goal.
Bam.
Yeah, it is awesome. I mean, it is awesome.
Dude, I love seeing these people make so much on their first comic.
It's amazing. Doug Tenaple joins us. Doug Tenaple called me up and he said, I want to join Comicsgate. I believe in what you're doing. He's like, look, my whole life is falling apart. I'm outed as a conservative. Nobody wants to work with me. I've got a Scholastic deal that's going to fall through. I said, well, what are they paying you? He's like, at $24,000, but I got to pay everybody. I got to pay my colorist. I got to pay this and that. I was like, come over with us. Create something new. He created Doug Tenaple's Bigfoot Bill, brand new character that's just as cool as Earthworm Jim, his first creation. He's sitting at $54,091 with a week left to go. He's going to he will get to $100,000 on this project. I guarantee it. And of course, Cyberfrog Blood Honey, that ends in, let me reload this, 10 hours. We got 10 more hours of Cyberfrog Blood Honey. This is just the variant cover. I decided to relaunch this for one single week. And in 6.5 days, we've earned $75,882.
Man, that's crazy.
I'm the only one on the stream that hasn't made any money.
You will.
Why don't we just launch tonight? Or no, tomorrow, as soon as Ethan's done.
So,
hey, can I say hi, Elliot? How you been, man? We've never actually talked in person, have we?
No, we haven't. But I've seen your ponytail at conventions, and I love it.
No, but we've been friends on Facebook for years.
Yes, sir.
People are telling Mike to just let his hair down.
It is down. See?
Is it? I don't know. It's not the same. It's not metal.
How long have you been growing it?
I started growing my hair when I was 14. It was long by the time I was 16, and between then and now, I've cut it all off only once.
Yeah, and thank you guys for the success of Cyberfrog. We are donating $10,000 to that male cancer charity.
Yeah,
specifically
That's
male
great.
cancer.
Male
Specifically.
cancer?
That's correct.
Testicular cancer, prostate cancer?
All of the above. Orchid cancer
Awesome.
in Britain. Why? Because there was some, comic book artist, a professional who I actually know very well, who wished the Comicsgaters would all die of dick cancer. So we decided to take $10,000 and give it to men who actually are dying of dick cancer. And screw you, you cancerous dicks who would actually say such a thing.
Right.
We are doing God's work here every single day. This is a positive movement. It's a movement of change. It's a movement of empowerment. For people who disagree, who don't belong with the mainstream necessarily. Everyone who comes with this is successful. And it's glorious. And it's all because of Mike. So no wonder Vox Day would want to come in here and co-opt this movement. But Vox Day doesn't have. Why is everybody typing C in the chat?
I don't know. I tried to type F and it told me I was placed in a timeout.
Press C for Cecil. Rokabir Kumar is demanding Cecil. Cecil's welcome anytime, Rokabir, my Centurion friend. He is welcome anytime. He's always got the link. He chooses not to come in here. I am like the Ed Sullivan Show, and he is like Dick Smothers. He has moved on. I used to be able to get him for a song. He won't come in here anymore. He's too busy. He's got his own thing. Well, he's got his own show. He's Jerry Lewis. He's, look, he's big time. He's big time.
He hardly uses his channel.
I know. He's a permanent guest. He is like Jerry Lewis at this point. He's just a guest everywhere. No, he's not like Jerry Lewis. He's like Don Rickles. He's just a guest everywhere.
That's great. Don Rickles.
Is that about right?
Yeah.
So anyway. Somebody says, ask Allison about Mark Waid. Allison, what about Mark Waid? You might want to unmute yourself for that one.
Oh, Mark Waid. So I don't know how far I got into the story. So Sam Eggs saw Brittany LeBlanc's tweet. She showed her the video. She must have gone through the point where I defended her, which is what astounds me, is that she could watch me defend her and say, yeah, I'm going to use this to destroy her. And so she showed Brittany LeBlanc the points where I explained why I said what I said about feminism reducing women down to victims. She got Brittany LeBlanc to get offended at what I had said. In fact, and characterize me as being disappointing. And what was the other thing she said? That I was disappointing, and that I hadn't come to, I guess, agree with her about what she had to say about men's rights activists and feminists. And disappointing and disagree, and then that I disagreed. And she then sent a complaint to the expo management that I had disappointed her and disagreed with her. And that was one of the reasons that the operations manager cited for kicking me out the next day. And then Sam Maggs, well, I have to say allegedly, because I do not have a smoking gun, but somehow Sam Maggs' close collaborator, Soha Kareem, took an interest in what was happening in the Calgary Expo from Toronto, which is an entire continent away, got a picture of our booth that could have only been taken in Calgary Expo, tweeted it to the Expo organizers and said, this is fucked up. 20 other people from the anti-Gamergate side responded about how awful it was that we were there. This was directed at the operations manager at the Calgary Expo, and it was the reason that I was kicked out. The reason he cited during the eviction that I was kicked out. And when that happened, this was a huge Twitter storm. Mark Waid sort of waded in. Sam Maggs eventually got arranged to have an article done on their Mary Sue's website, which alleged that I had infiltrated the convention based on something I had said on my crowdfunding site to get us there, which was, we're going to infiltrate the convention. We've been crafting personas of nerdiness for decades. And incidentally, the Calgary Expo hadn't been around for decades. It'd only been around for about a decade at that time. So we had crafted personas of nerdiness to infiltrate a convention that didn't exist when we started crafting them. That it was totally absurdist humor. And she looked at that and said, this is a literal statement of intention that they are going to infiltrate the convention to disagree with feminists. And they published that and said that I had basically misled the Calgary Expo on my contract. The defense later submitted my contract, and it had my name and Honey Badger Brigade, Honey Badger Radio on the actual contract. I didn't actually have access to it because they blocked my access to it, but they ended up submitting it. And then she also alleged that I had engaged in harassment based on Brittany LeBlanc's testimony. And when I got kicked out, Mark Waid chimed in and said that the Calgary Expo did the right thing and called me a lying bully based on what the Mary Sue had written. And I actually confronted him like a month later about all of that. And I said, well, do you defend women's right to participate in geek and comics industry if they don't agree with you? And he was like, oh, well, that's really snarky. And then we went back and forth, and I don't know if he ever really said that. Yeah, that was actually wrong to have done. And support too, because he signal boosted all of the allegations against me. And even the Outsiders actually published this whole long article about what he was saying, and the Gamergate at the time were pushing back against him and saying, what are you talking about? I could find it for you if you like, if that's of interest.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So let's look. How can these people help you, Allison? How can these 1,613 people right now that are sitting there going, what is she talking about? I'm lost. Everyone's lost in the chat. Now you have it's about 50-50 for you right now, Allison.
Okay,
To be honest with you.
Really simple.
It's 50-50. Some people are like, what and the other 50% are like, we like Allison. We like Allison. We want her to succeed. So for the 50% that want you to succeed and love you, care about you, not the 50% that want to eject you to the moon, the 50% that love you and care about you, how can they help you how can they get your comics at this point? What do they need to do? How does anybody help you now?
Okay, well, first of all, thank you very much to the 50% who are.
What about the other 50%?
They're
entitled to them.
They're entitled to their opinion.
Okay.
And I will support their right to be entitled to their opinion and express it.
You don't want to say fuck you to them.
That's not my style.
Okay.
I say fuck you to feminists.
Oh.
People who dislike me that's their prerogative. I know I'm a little weird, so
You're not weird. You're not weird.
I am weird. You don't know me that well.
Oh, okay.
Weird. But to the ones who are supporting me, like, to be honest, I really don't want people to buy my comic because, oh, boo-hoo, a woman cried in a YouTube video. That's why I didn't actually put a link to my comic on the video, because that is like, no, please do not. If you look at the artwork that I've done, if you look at the story,
crying really works, man. Don't dismiss the crying.
The chat is saying that they like you, but that you need to get to the point quicker.
Okay, well, unfortunately, I have attention deficit disorder, so I always have like 5 or 6 points in my head that are competing at once.
Yeah.
I to be honest, right now, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't pursue a lot of getting my comic book out in other venues. I pursued the lawsuit, and the lawsuit, I don't know if you've ever been in a lawsuit. A lawsuit is like marrying a person who hates you.
Mm.
And you have to live with them for the rest of your life, or until you can get them the fuck out of your hair. Mm. And it's like they're just on your back. They're constantly like whispering in your ear, making you feel like shit. And even when they're not ignoring you. So it's like boredom punctuated with intense moments of terror and self-loathing. So it's a trial. Let me tell you. If you have a choice to not have a lawsuit, don't do a lawsuit. So this has been absorbing my attention for the entire time I've been engaged in it. I've had enough to keep Honey Badger Radio trucking along, but but I haven't been able to even work on my comic. And part of that is because, I don't know, after all this happened, I just lost a lot of my will to continue with this work, with comics work, with the storytelling. I have like 3 novels that I started and got about 20 pages into. And then I don't know, it's just something about this entire situation has made it really difficult to continue to do storytelling. So I haven't really focused on that. I think if you want to help at this point, spread the word about this appeal. We are going to try to appeal as long as we get the funds. And I mean, if at some point I feel like I'm ready to go back into doing comics, I mean, maybe I'll hit you guys up again. But right now, I really can't say, you know, like, go support this. I don't want you to support it because you just feel pity. My other concern is that I don't know when I'm going to get the juice back for being able to work on this stuff. Probably I should just hit my head against the wall until I just get back into the rhythm of it. But it is really difficult with that person that hates you, that you're married to, called a lawsuit. So that's my spiel. If you want to help us with the appeal for now, I do have my comic on our website for sale. If you like, okay, I'll put it this way. If you like the artwork, if you like the idea of the story, go ahead, but don't do it because I was a woman crying on camera. Please don't.
Have you tried doing a graphic novel about forks? Or just one fork, singular?
How about sporks?
I was going to say that.
Sporks. Somebody's actually doing that. There's a guy named who's doing a book called Sporkman.
You know, probably better than anything you can get from Marvel and DC at this point.
I have a graphic novel about chopsticks.
Chopsticks, really?
Yeah.
It's an autobiography.
Yeah.
I got some chopsticks that look like lightsabers. Did I show you
I
those?
do too.
Did you get those?
Yeah, I have them right here.
Should I give people a website?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's okay for this stream.
Absolutely.
I just want to make sure. I don't want to
I
share
got into the yeah.
I
Mike,
don't.
It's not porn.
You got all of them. No, you don't. You got the Yoda.
That's quite the set of chopsticks. Are they like neon?
Well, they have lights in them. They glow.
They light up. They're lightsabers.
Oh, that's awesome.
People want me to kick Nasser. I don't know why. I don't know what Nasser did. By the way, somebody offered me a T-shirt today that said "Kick Nasser."
Nice.
Yeah, and it's not a bad idea.
Dude, I would buy that.
Would you really?
Yes.
I got to think about it because I could sell at least one.
Nasser, you have a business degree, and you just gave him the idea of putting a T-shirt on his site.
I didn't give him the idea. Someone else did.
No, somebody else did. I'll show you what it looks like, and you tell me if you guys like this or not. I mean,
Yeah, but you just told him you would buy it. Somebody.
Yeah, Nasser already. Yeah, one
well,
is
that's
sold.
pretty basic. I mean, you got to make it.
That's
like,
all you need. That's all you need. What do you want? A picture of you getting a boot in the ass? I mean, like
maybe not that. But like, it just looks. I don't know. That looks
it's stylish. It looks like Got Milk. Kick Nasser. It's the same.
I don't know if I'm feeling that one.
We'll be producing this. I'm sure we will sell many.
It's got to be black with white lettering.
Really? Yeah.
Just like Go Get Daddy's belt, and the stacking needs to be better.
Yeah. Well, we'll work on it. It was just an idea. It's
Not
just
as good as my
concept.
Kick V shirt.
No. Your Kick V shirt was really good. I think you did a good job. Yeah, people in the chat are saying, "Don't worry, you're not the first to cry in Ethan's stream." That would be Mike. Mike is the first to cry in my stream,
No,
and
that
not
was on
just
his own stream.
Not just once.
Oh, what happened to Mike?
He's always crying.
No, I don't feel so bad then.
I cried watching the stream.
That video was like, I don't know, my 3rd or 4th take, and it actually cried the least amount in it.
Uh-oh.
And I
Family's
thought,
home. Gotta go.
Oh, okay. See you later. Crying in the stream. That's Mike S. Miller. Living the dream. Mike S. Miller.
An apple sales killer.
Wow.
That was funny. You took $2,000 from him, and then it went right in your pocket. That was the best. That might have been one of the best moments on Comic Artist Pro Secrets. It's hard to watch. It was hard to sit through, but now, like historically, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
We can laugh now.
Now we can laugh. Yeah, absolutely. Baby, are you okay? Do you need me? Oh, okay. Oh, you look good. You want to come say hi? You want to poke your head over here and just say hi to people? No? Oh, you're beautiful.
Aw.
Are you going to do it? You are? But hold
Where
on.
am I looking?
Right
Oh,
there.
there.
Yeah.
Hi.
What's up?
Hey.
There's Andrea. Rare cameo. Rare cameo. Yeah, so let's see
well-
what we're talking about. Oh yeah, you had your link that you wanted to give to the chat.
Yeah, well, just to give a summary, all of this is basically Mean Girls bullshit on steroids. I pissed off a feminist by my very existence because I advocated for men's rights, because I pushed back against feminism, reducing women down to victims, and she decided to pull whatever strings she could to get me the hell out of comics. And like I said to feminists, coffee shop feminists who say that all feminists aren't, not all feminists are like that. Well, try not agreeing with a feminist, especially a feminist with power, and see
Women with power is like can you imagine the bullet we dodged here in the United States?
with your patriarchy.
No, with the president. Are you kidding me? Think about how bad things could have gotten. You could have empowered Hillary Clinton to.
Nobody would have been able to question anything she does because.
My God.
Yeah, that was a good bullet to dodge.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, the first female president has to be Republican.
I'm telling you, can you imagine, like, her Secret Service weren't allowed to dodge that bullet, but the country was allowed to dodge that bullet. Thank God.
Can I show my second volume?
Yeah. Let's see.
So, there we go.
Oh, it's beautiful. Hold on, let me click it. All right, go ahead.
If we could get Doug TeNapel to come in here and tear at her, she'd make a lot of money.
I think I already busted her balls enough, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Doug's got a certain panache for it, though.
Yeah.
What?
True.
Is there anything else you'd like me to answer? The website is www.feedthebadger.com.
Mm-hmm.
And here's some other stuff, space stuff.
Nice.
Maybe going too fast or something. I don't know. All right.
So let's get your link, and yeah, we'll put it in the chat. And we wish you well. We know that you've got legal bills that you would not even believe, and that's what's going on right now. We'll see if we can sell some of these books for you, and there are going to be some people here who will want to give you some support for that. Can you email me? No, don't email. DM me the link to your book, and I will put it in the description.
Okay.
Where's Elijah?
Who just came? Oh, it's Mike standing up. What's it say? I'm the artist. You're the artist, Mike.
Like the chef.
Yeah, this is the shirt I wear to conventions because I get really sick of answering that question.
Mike is the artist. All right, the artist. Yeah. Everyone's saying Andrea is too good for me. The chat's finally catching up. Yeah, what's with these artists and their hot wives? EVS is what? That's your Aunt Andrea. You guys, of course. Andrea Reveal. Yeah, I know. She's beautiful. Of course she is. An Italian and a good girl. She's a good girl. That's what's important.
Crazy about Elvis?
She's crazy about Elvis. Yeah. She's not. She's crazy about Frank Sinatra.
Oh,
yeah.
Better.
I'm crazy about Elvis. All right. Well, we want to thank you for joining us, Allison. Appreciate you. Wish you the best. Make sure to give me that link. I will put it in the description of this chat. And those people who wish to buy comics, buy copies of your book, right. I think they should.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great evening.
Yes.
And thanks for being a good sport. See you later.
No problem.
All right. So that was interesting. How do you
So
feel, Nasser?
okay, I just want to say that somebody just sent me a DM saying, "Can I DM you ideas about Viet Cong?" Viet Cong is not my idea. That's Ethan. So anybody wondering about Ethan's ideas, I have no say in what he does with them.
Was it Vox Day that was trying to infringe on one of my
No,
trademarks?
He's
Sounds
I
like
don't,
it
e-
was
I don't even
Vox
know how
Day.
to pronounce this name.
All right, let's go
Teddy
through this.
bear.
Yeah, let's see. Chicago represents says Horror Hero Comics. Joel Swenson, $5. What's your opinion on Trebuchet? LOL. Fraud 79. This interview hinges on her thoughts on pie. I never asked her. Tim Collins. I should have. $2. The name to use is Gateway Comics. Gatekeeper Comics would be funnier, honestly. Vince Garrett, the Trebuchet just got 10 feet higher. Launch Fox to Pluto. That kind of soy deation is only safe at extreme distances. Cars in Depth says, Ethan, what's the Tweed amp on the floor? All right, so that is a custom amp. It's for my keyboard. Oh, it's also for my guitar, but right now it has a book that I threw at it on top of it. Custom Songmaker, thanks for $5. I know the owner of Ultracon in South Florida, Miami. It's small, but he's friendly with Hasbro and has wrestling matches with people dressed like Chun-Li. Swingin' Cod, thanks for $2. Wizard World Chicago 07 is where I first met Ethan. Michael Dwayne, $2. I already want to buy Allison's book. Okay, so that's good. Justin Panlasuigui, thank you for $5. So Vox doesn't know the difference between overhead and profit. It's unusual. I agree. David Tavarov, $10. Vox is an idiot. He took the sale price per page for one book on his end, then compared it to your total earnings, divided the pages in one single book on your end. It's like comparing pears to goats. That's accurate. Unkind but true. Johnny in Cleveland, thanks for $5. Vox the Pox equals the Dork Lord. All hail the Dark Lord Caesar, tremble in fear, butt lords of SJW hell, and the Trebuchet fake Comicsgate copyrights away. Yes, exactly what I was going to say. The Human Shrug, $2. They look perfectly fine. I'd buy both of her comics. Good. Buy both of her comics, please. Lady Hawk, happy belated birthday to you, Uncle E. Thank you. And happy actual birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lady Hawk. I would get in the kitchen and bake you a birthday pie any day. Well, thank you, Lady Hawk. Spider-Man, not Bug Boy, $1.99. And more info about Allison's characters. Too late. Carl Philip Gabler, thanks for $5. State in writing that you do not intend to pursue any legal action concerning your claims to Comicsgate, then debate Vox, coward. Why would I do that? I'm going to sue him. Okay. All right. GRP poll, $10. John Delarose says Vox did nothing wrong on his lunch stream today. This is after talking about ethnostates on War Campaign last night. Mark C, thanks for $5. Ethan, if you can't say don't, but wondering, did you apply for trademark of Comicsgate? Entropy, thanks for £2. Pitch us the story of your book, Allison. Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, EVS, could you read a Dr. Seuss book like The Cat in the Hat sometime on camera? I just really want to hear you read a Dr. Seuss book sometime. Spike in Madness. Apparently, Aunt Andrea adopted all attributes associated alongside Aphrodite and Athena. In other words, she's a number one. Thank you so much. She is. She's a wonderful girl. Wow. Look at this. We've still got a couple people in here. We got Mike, and he's working hard. Absolutely fantastic. Viet Cong by Vox Day. NASA really wants to do that Viet Cong book. He really does. It's important to him. Do you really want to do it?
I mean, if you read like one of my scripts and you like my writing, then sure. But I wouldn't want to do it if you absolutely hate how I write.
I don't know how I feel about you writing.
Well, that's fine. I don't think you've read my writing.
I'm not sure. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's good. I'm not positive. I need to read some of your stuff.
Okay,
Maybe
what kind of stuff do you want to read?
Comedy. Light comedy.
Man, I don't know. I don't think I'm good with comedy, but then Donald thinks I am. So
Well, maybe you're fine. I mean, I'd like to see. I would just like to see what you got. Okay. And yeah, that should be good.
Okay, I'll send you the script for the comedy book we're working on.
All right, so Bounding into Comics just released something about Vox Day. Oh my god. Let's see what it is, guys.
Cecil says romantic comedy by Nasser. Maybe.
Bounding into Comics. Vox Day. Let me see. Vox Day response to negativity after announcing Comicsgate 4 minutes ago. Let's see what he says here. I should probably put this up on the screen. What do you think about that, guys?
Do it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
You can do it. Feed me Seymour. Do. He looks good in this picture. Why are they interviewing him so much? What's going on with Bounding into Comics? Why don't they interview me? I got things to say.
It's a good question, actually.
It is. It's a very good question. I mean, Control, is it Control Plus? Yep. No thanks. All right. So Vox Day responds to negativity after announcing Comicsgate Comics 4 minutes ago. After announcing Comicsgate Comics earlier this week, publisher Vox Day faced quite a bit of negativity and criticism from a number of people associated with Comicsgate. We reached out to Vox to get his reaction on the negativity and the thoughts on the matter. Nobody reaches out to me. They should really reach out to me more. I mean, I know I say everything that's on my mind right here on these streams. You know, definitely would. David Keeling goes, EVS panic time. Bounding into Comics, VIC. After the Comicsgate Comics announcement, many of those using the hashtag decried you, and there were calls for people to disavow you. Do you have a response to the people who claim you aren't part of Comicsgate? Vox Day, certainly. It depends on what you mean by Comicsgate. If you mean rejecting the 5 points laid out by a story on this very site, then we are very clearly Comicsgate. If you mean something that is SJW inclusive, intrinsically opposed to identity politics, and owned by Ethan Van Sciver, then we very clearly are not. All right, so...
I was waiting for him to say, I started this gangster shit.
No, come on now. Did you start it or not? Did you start this gangsta shit or not? The answer is no. BIC, are these the 5 points you're referring to? Number one, the adoption of art styles influenced exclusively by progressive politics and by the awkward, stilted injection of said political messages into stories, regardless of whether context demands it or not.
Art styles? What?
I don't know what he's talking about. Influenced exclusively by progressive politics. What art styles are influenced by progressive politics?
Modern art? I don't see that in comics much.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, hang on. I got to lock my screen there, so they're yelling at me here. Hang on. All right, here we go. The hiring of people. Yeah, I don't get this at all. And I don't know who invented this. I don't know who wrote this, but, you know. The hiring of people based purely. Why is everything a link? I'm not clicking it. It's porn. Based on their surface traits and oppressed demographic status, women, minorities, LGBT, rather than hiring based on merit and affinity for craft. Well, we agree about that, I guess. The change or outright replacement of beloved classic characters in the interest of shallow appeasement, supposedly in the name of progress. The elitist attitude and purge of anything that is not progressive under the mantra of not progressive enough. This is irrelevant right here. That's not an issue. 5, the rejection of honest criticism swept aside as harassment or discrimination. Yeah, kind of. All right. The Vox says, yes, those are the 5 points. Note that number 1 addresses the question of context with regard to political messages. When the story involves Antifa, one cannot avoid politics. You previously expressed interest in working with Ethan Van Sciver. Is that still true? We aren't interested in working with anyone who is publicly threatening lawsuits against us and our partners. Well, shit.
Who's us?
I don't know. I think
Is he talking in the royal plural or the majestic plural?
Is it? Is that what it is? Him in his chair? You know? Much of the criticism, him in his pie charts. His pie charts. His pie chart was basically a chart of my profits compared to his. That's what's so crazy about that. It's like, yeah, this tall pillar, that's Ethan's profits.
That was how jealous he was.
Oh, it's so sad. Much of the criticism about your involvement in Gamergate is centered around your personal politics and the belief that your comics are political. Would you like to address that criticism? Do you believe your comics are ham-fisted with political messages? That's a stupid criticism on at least 3 levels. Okay. First, we were only caught up in Comicsgate because we are an independent comics publisher with 22 digital editions and 11 print editions published in 2018. My personal politics have literally nothing to do with anything published by Dark Legion or Comicsgate Comics. And see, look at this. And very little to do with most of the comics published by Archaven. That's a lie, Vox. You actually, every conversation that we've ever had, you talk about how your, approach to comics is purely political. That you are using comics as a way to bludgeon your enemies, your political enemies. In fact, on your first stream on this subject matter, you admitted that your use of the label Comicsgate was purely to punish people who you felt, were opposed to you or had done you wrong. And by the way, the person that you're mad at is sitting right here. It's Mike S. Miller. It's like, you shouldn't have fucked with Will Callaghan, Mike. You're the cause of all this.
How do you live with yourself, Mike?
I know.
Very comfortably.
You do? Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
No shame.
I'm blessed. I live in America.
Yeah. So this is silly. The truth is, Vox actually, the reason why Vox wants to take over Comicsgate is to make it more political. He calls us moderates. He's like, moderates are pussies. They can't do nothing. We're not out to do political stuff. We're really out to kind of just sell comics. But he's like, you're moderates. All right. Second, comics have always had political and ideological elements to them. Now, who sounds like an SJW, Vox? The core problem with what SJWs are doing in comics is less about how they are inserting their lunatic politics into comics and more about the way in which they are ideologically policing who is permitted to produce and publish comics at Marvel, DC, IDW, and other comics publishers. Well, that's a balancing act. I think it's both of those things pretty evenly. Third, anyone who, and it really, this is the difference between being a fan and being concerned about what the fans and the customers think, and then what, the people who produce the comics feel. Like, this is sympathetic. He's more concerned about the people who are producing comics and far less concerned, as he admits here, about the fans. Now, the fans' issue isn't about who gets to produce the comics. The fans' issue is what the comics are and how the comics are, being overrun and destroyed by lunatic politics, as he says here. That's why they don't like these comics. Now, Vox is saying his big complaint is he wants more, right-wingers to be able to work in comics. That's a secondary concern to me. The primary concern is actually making the comics themselves readable, entertaining escapism. Third, anyone who reads the comics I've written knows I don't do ham-fisted anything. In my opinion, giving the other side a fair and accurate voice actually makes for stronger stories and better characters, whether the story is intrinsically political or not. For example, Alt Hero number 4, which is a highly ideological story, the pro-globalist position being espoused by Captain Europa, is a paraphrase of the actual words of French President Emmanuel Macron. It is more of a fair presentation of a position with which I actually personally disagree. It is an extremely goddamn.
So it is political.
Very much so. Yeah, that's why he made sure to just point out that it's not the content of the books. Again, with Vox, it's not the content of the books that really bothers him. It's the fact that he would like to control who is in charge. He is literally an SJW in the same way as they are. He just wants right-wingers to take control and then police the content of the books. And that's literally what he's saying here. He's just saying, look, the books, we're not worried about the politics in them. We're just worried about who gets to produce them. and they can be political. They can be political. This is astonishing. This is a great admission. Every time you listen to Vox Day, and if you listen to him with your ears open and your eyes open, you start to notice who he is. Have you had any creators reach out to you to publish under Comicsgate Comics since the new imprint was announced? No, not under Comicsgate, but under Dark Legion. We reached an agreement to publish an independent crowdfunded creator who was very pleased to discover that we are able to cut his fulfillment costs to his backers in half due to our economies of scale.
Who's that?
I don't know. I would like to know.
He's still taking more money from the artists, and yeah, with his dollar and change pages. Yeah,
I'm interested in that. I'm interested in why Will Callaghan is broke and his book hasn't come out. Mike, do you have any information about that?
He said that he got he's got like Gulf War syndrome, and so after Vox got the money somehow or another, he couldn't work, like his hands weren't steady enough to draw, and so somehow or another that he didn't get the money from Vox.
He didn't get the book done, or what?
He didn't. Well, he couldn't do the work.
Oh.
So I think, hey, why don't you guys figure out a way? Because Will is a fantastic creator. I mean, he could have worked for Vox to get stuff done the way he does with his own company and still gotten paid. But I don't know. I don't know all the ins and outs of their situation. So that's about all I know out of that.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense to me. That makes sense. Will you be checking out Comicsgate Comics? What are your thoughts on the new imprint and the reactions that ensued? John F. Trent. Let's see. 22 visits today. Are there any comments? People don't comment anymore.
Well, it
they
just launched.
For Twitter. What?
You got to it right when it launched.
I did?
Yeah, 6 minutes in, remember?
Oh, look at that. Oh, right. But look at this. 3 comments. But this, when you log in.
Refresh it.
I agree. Proceed. 3 comments. Oh, look, it's me and Andrea. All right, let me refresh this. Here we go. Meth Moby is not Comicsgate. We do not want any politics in our comics.
I love that.
I love my people. I love you guys. Comicsgate is just kicking some ass. As usual, Vox is full of shit. Art styles influenced by progressive, whatever the fuck that means. The hiring of people based on surface traits coming from the guy who believes anyone who isn't white is subhuman. Damn. Vox's personal politics are literally his entire brand. The idea that he can keep his neo-Nazi image away from publishing a publishing imprint is laughable. He has said on his streams multiple times that everything he's doing is purely political. Of course it is. The truth is that his books aren't that successful. That's true. And the other Indiegogo books that aren't attached to him are routinely doing numbers that are just as good and sometimes many times better. He is trying to latch on to Comicsgate to stay relevant now that Alt Hero has become a footnote. Marsupial says, why don't you reach out to EVS rather than just talking about him without giving him the chance to respond? Yeah, why, Vox? Why?
CBR or not CBR. What is it? Bounding into comics.
Yeah. Well, why doesn't Vox, why won't you debate me on the kill stream? Comicsgate is about choice on the part of comic book consumers. Theodore is attempting to remove our choice by forcibly weaseling his way into a grassroots movement that intensely despises him. Teddy has nothing to do with Comicsgate, has never had anything to do with Comicsgate, and will never have anything to do with Comicsgate. He was a non-entity in Gamergate as well. He's not worth anyone's time and should try having a modicum of creativity in naming his profoundly unsuccessful businesses. The logo sucks too. XD. So that's that's just 3 people's opinions. It's just 3 people's opinions,
But what about his Neanderthal followers? How come they're not responding?
Why aren't they responding?
Because they can't write.
Why aren't they? Yeah, why aren't they responding? They're in here. They're in here saying rude things to me. Look.
Yeah, why don't you go spread your anti-Semitism on Vox's freaking crap?
Go talk to Vox. Go support Vox Day. That would be fine. In the meantime, Cyberfrog just jumped up to $76,332. Last I checked, it was 75. $76,000, everyone.
Damn.
The spirit of 76. That is exciting. That is very, very exciting, and I appreciate it. I do. This dignified man, tremendously dignified man, with his smiley face shirt on. All right. Yeah. I mean, guys. I don't know. Do I own the title Comicsgate? Can I trademark it?
I would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying today on stream that I don't want to lose the message of the movement focusing on a hashtag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not about the name. It's about what we're doing. And, should Vox Day somehow or another, I mean, corrupted enough as it is, I don't know. It's this line in the sand that's turning good people bad and turning friends against each other. And it's kind of painful to watch. I mean, you've got friends who are listening to other friends who are all basing their opinions on false information, but it's like flipping impossible to convince them of it. And Ethan, you and I, and all the pros that are involved in this, we're losing legitimate friends over this.
Well, not legitimate friends though.
Like I'm saying, friends who will listen to peers they respect. Not that they don't even respect us, but they'll listen to other peers that they respect. And it's like such an easy pitch for them, right? It's such an easy pitch. And ours is like so deep and nuanced and important that it's like, like was it Richard saying the other day? It's like, it takes a half an hour to explain it properly to somebody on our side, but they just say, oh, they're just full of hate. They're bigots or whatever. Yeah. And then these people who we've, been not best friends, obviously, apparently, but these are people who will disown their own sisters, for being birthers.
Absolutely.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Yeah. But I want the message to be more important than the brand.
Same.
Me too. But I don't know. People in the chat are saying, "Hey, nobody owns Comicsgate, not even you, Ethan." Well, I mean, that would be nice if that were true. I would agree to that, but that's not the case. Vox is making a move to own Comicsgate.
We're only trying to copyright it so that way Vox can't use it.
Yeah, it's like it's not a matter of nobody owns it or Ethan owns it. It's Ethan owns it or Vox owns it. So take your pick.
Yeah.
And also, this guy really keeps messaging me asking about Viet Cong. Don't message me, please. It's not my idea. I don't own it. I don't even know what all Ethan wants to happen in it. I know the basic idea, so don't message me any Viet Cong ideas.
Yeah, Allison was all over the place trying to look at this. Yeah, no. I don't know. I'm probably done with Allison. I don't know. People need to come on the stream and be fun. Right or wrong.
Why is Nasser here?
Nasser's kind of fun.
That could be fun sometimes.
I'm just trying, Ethan. I'm trying.
I mean, Elliot's fun. Elliot's cool. Everybody likes Elliot.
Elliot, tell us how'd you get in here? You just like popped up in the space all of a sudden.
Right. I snuck in.
Happy to have you, dude. Happy to have you. I want to, tell me your entree.
Well, Ethan wasn't looking, and I went behind, and I snuck in by the JFK poster.
Yeah. Nobody listen. A lot of people told me about Elliot. They said Elliot could sell a comic, and I said, really? Like, what do you mean? He's got 111,000. First of all, he's a really good artist, and he's got 111,000 Instagram followers. If he
really? Holy heck!
Yeah, I've been following your Instagram for a while, so it's really cool to meet you.
Yeah, you too, man. I appreciate you. Listen, it's exciting, man. I was just talking to a buddy of mine. He said, "Man, actually, I was doing a stream earlier before you hopped on, Ethan, and somebody asked me, would you reconsider doing comics? I'm like, hell yeah, that's why I'm back on board here, because I'm like, you know what? This provided for me, the logical pathway to doing it right.
Mhm.
It's what we all, people that are smart enough to. I'm not that smart, but like you, I'm not that smart.
Yeah.
No, you are smart. I'm just saying. I'm
not that. Believe me, I'm dumb.
No,
Take
I'm
my
pretty
word for
good.
it. All right.
But when people talk about this stuff and we say, hey, how did you, why would you do this? Or, that's why I don't understand when I hear people like Vox talking about this nonsense. He's obviously just clowning everybody. But, when you start to use this faulty math and then say, this is, he's like a hyper 99%er. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but no, I got excited about all this, man. I was talking about you guys to my parents last night. I was like, yo, you gotta check this out. I sent them links and like, oh my gosh. I'm like, no, I'm not famous. I'm still not famous, nor am I rich. But it's awesome.
You will be. Yeah, you just have to put out a comic book.
Oh,
You're gonna
hey,
do
Art's
great.
here.
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
guys.
welcome, Art to Bear. Welcome, Nerd Wonder. Happy to have you both.
Hey, Ethan, a belated, I didn't wish you face-to-face or YouTube to YouTube, but happy birthday, man.
Yeah, I
Did you have
appreciate
pie?
that.
Did you have pie or cake?
Pie. I didn't have any cake. Andrea felt so bad, but she's like, why didn't I make you a cake?
What kind of pie?
Pumpkin.
Did it have candles on it?
No, I didn't put candles on it. But I did eat it with my hands. And that's the thing about pumpkin pie and all pies, really. If you can scoop it up and eat it with your hand like that, like a sandwich, that's the best, man. You don't want to eat it with a fork.
Pumpkin pie quiz. Cool Whip or ice cream?
Cool Whip. I'm Cool Whip.
Cool Whip too. Ice cream I would do it, but it's just not it's not necessary. It's not called for apple pie and ice cream.
Yeah, pumpkin pie is pretty dense, so you can actually eat it with your hands. That's the good thing.
No,
barbarian.
When you told that story about eating with your hands and then trying to figure out a way to hide the box, dude, I was like, that's a crackhead story. I love it. I'm telling
you, that's how I am, though. Hey, the quartering's here. Hey, Jeremy, I'm sending you a link. I want you to come in here for a minute, please. The quartering is one of the biggest YouTubers on YouTube right now. He has really figured it out. The quality of the quarterings. The quality of his his videos, is really unbelievable right now. He knows how to write these great titles. He knows how to make great thumbnails, and then he's fun to watch. And I've told, I've been a big fan of Jeremy's for ages, absolutely ages. I just think he's hilarious, and I loved when he was fighting Magic the Gathering. He showed how to fight. He showed how to fight back, be one man against an entire system. I think he won. I think Jeremy won.
It's like Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah. Like a bearded Jimmy Stewart. And Jeremy just said, "Hey, Ethan's head isn't going to fit out of that basement." Why? Do I sound egotistical? Oh, is it because I'm the Dark Lord now? Well,
I just assumed it was the pie.
The pie
it could have been the pie. But that's my whole body, though. That's not my head. I swear to God, like
gain face weight first.
Yeah, that's true. No, today, I'm up there and I have a stack of jeans that Andrea's folded. She's like, how many different, what's your jean size? And I was like, well, I'm 36 waist, 22.
You said, it depends. What's for dinner?
That's right. And she's like, are you sure like you're not a 38? And I was like, I'm 36. Wow. And so I pulled on a new pair of jeans. These are new. And I could tell when I picked the jeans up that they were too small now. That I could tell they were too small. I don't know. This was the debate I was having. She's like, are you sure? So I was like, maybe these are slim. Like if they're 36 slim instead of 36 regular, that makes all the difference in the world.
38 husky.
I'm not there yet. Now, I worked my way down from a 42 waist back in 2010.
Wow, congratulations.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah.
Nice.
To 36, and I've been 36, So I pulled them on, and I swear to God, I look like remember those jeans ads in the 1980s, like Vidal Sassoon or what was it? No, it was
look like
I
Rob
pulled
Lee
them on tight. Like they,
Dave in this commercial.
Your 501 jeans.
yeah, jeans used to fit that way, like tight over your ass, like you know. And I was like, that's what it felt like. I was like, oh my god, dude, I'm a sausage casing. And these jeans,
Dude, you know what would be hilarious, Ethan?
What?
Is if you remade shot for shot
Jordache.
Rob Liefeld, Levi's
The
commercial.
Liefeld commercial.
Yeah, make the my fly's buttoned and then it just
With
pops
Spike Lee.
open. Just my fly's
Talk to
buttoned.
Spike Lee.
Oh, please do it.
I mean, absolutely. That's how it is. You know that.
What
that
do
is
you
how
do?
it is.
Hey, Ethan, what do you do in your 501 jeans? Wasn't that
I
the
draw.
question?
Yeah, I draw whatever Spike Lee tells me to draw. You know, whatever he tells me. Let's see. Sir Ruin of Roundhead says, you know, EVS, could you read a Dr. Seuss book like Cat in the Hat on sometime on camera? I just really want to hear you read a Dr. Seuss book sometime.
I used to read Cat in the Hat to my kids like a horror story.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
Can't
Do
Hop
Hop on Pop.
was my favorite book, and then we tried it. Me and my sister. It didn't end well.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Yeah, the quartering. Where is the quartering? Is he going to come in here? Somebody just said the quartering can tell you about the money badgers.
Yeah, the honey badgers. Yeah.
No,
Kind of.
he's calling them the money badgers.
Oh.
There are people who hate these people. All right, hold on a second. I just call to
So
say.
it really sucks though that they lost. Like they have so many books that are unsold that like are blacklisted.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I really didn't get a sense of what was going on there because I was tuning out while she was talking. I hate to say that, man.
Was she that boring?
She was not riveting.
Would you like to
She
go
was
talk to her?
boring.
I kept waiting to say,
Would you
so
like
you
to
don't know
like
Mark Waid.
DM her or something?
No, there's a better way to tell a story. You know, there's a better way.
Oh, Cecil says he's coming on in 5.
Allison's here in the chat. Allison, there's a better way to tell a story. You know that. You know, you went on and on and on. I kept telling you, nah. But I mean, you got to be more exciting. You got to punch it up. You got to say, and then Mark Waid. And have you seen Mark Waid? I swear to God, he looks just like that short, bald dude from Seinfeld. What's that guy's name? And so that dude, picture that. Picture George Costanza pushing you around. Imagine being fucking blacklisted by George Costanza. What the fuck is that about? That's the current state of the comic book industry right now. I can't go to a convention anymore because George Costanza won't let me go to a convention. That's how to tell a story.
Ethan, will you go tell her story and help her?
No, I won't because I have my own story to tell. My own story involves a bald-headed gentleman and his throne and him being the Dark Lord and him saying things like, you fuck with the Dark Lord and then I take something of yours.
I drink your milkshake.
He said, you fuck with the Dark Lord and I'm going to take something that's yours.
It's funny. That's exactly how he sounds.
What do I say to that? You know, what are you going to take of mine? You know, and by the way, it wasn't even. Again, I reiterate, it wasn't even me that fucked with the Dark Lord. It was Mike S. Miller. Vox, get Mike. Jeremy, the quartering is in here. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing really well. How are you all doing?
Hey.
We're not doing that great, Jeremy.
Well, maybe this will cheer you up. See, your story about your wife asking about pants. I see. She knew you were a 38. She just didn't want. She didn't have it in her heart to, break it to you.
She loves me.
Yeah, she wanted to protect your feelings there. So that's a good woman.
Yeah, she's a good
She
woman.
wanted you to find the truth out yourself. She was
Yeah.
steering you in the right direction.
She really is your best friend.
Yeah, I'm like, these pants are all really old or something because all the seams are ripping. It's time for new jeans.
Yeah, that's
They're
usually
You're
what
literally
happens.
ripping the seams out of a Levi pair of pants.
Yes, yeah. She's like, Ethan, are you wearing like blue underwear today? I'm like, yeah, how'd you know? She's like, out your back pocket. You know, I mean, that's
Ethan, maybe you should have moved to stretchy pants.
maybe I will. Listen, well, they made me burn my soy pants. I mean,
Some of my stretchy pants.
Yeah.
The stretchy jeans, those stretchy jeans they have on TV.
No. They were joggers, and everyone made fun of them and called them soy pants, and they made me burn them in my backyard. That was the most humiliating moment of my life. I said, when I get to 50,000 subscribers, I'll do whatever you want. They said, we want you to burn your soy pants, and I had to burn my pants in the backyard, Jeremy.
Well, I mean, why you should have really taken that moment to reflect why you had them in the first place.
I did. I miss them to this day. I miss them because I'm sitting there busting out of my jeans. Now, Jeremy, are you aware of what is going on right now in Comicsgate vis-a-vis Vox Day?
I am up to, well, not up to the minute. I saw everything. I watched your live stream that day, so I kind of knew what was going on, and I talked to Vox, see what was going around in his head.
What's going on in his head?
I mean, he sounds like he's got his feelings hurt. He's really white knighting for this dude. I forget his name.
His name's Will Callaghan.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
And Mike leaves. Just like that, he leaves like the coward he is. Mike S. Miller.
Rip Mike.
Yeah. Let me explain something to you, Jeremy, because you might not know this. All right. Here's what happened. This guy, Will Callaghan, who was an artist for Vox Day, got on Twitter and he started saying some pretty flippant things. He started saying, "You bastards at Comicsgate." He started cursing us out in a long 10-message thread.
That I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just to understand the timeline, because I was going to make a video about it, but I didn't understand. All I could tell is that Vox seemed to be white knighting for this guy. Didn't he like come around trying to get the Comicsgate community support for a comic or something? And then,
back in the day, he did a comic called Altero, and he was like, "This is the comic for Comicsgate," and we all laughed at him. We said, when we said we don't want politics, we don't want politics. We don't want politics. Get that out of here.
Was it some sort of like ethno-state comic or something?
Kind of. It was very.
It started. It was a heroine, and she was a hot chick, but she had the flag.
She was fighting the European Union, from what I heard.
Oh yeah.
They were fighting Antifa. It was weird. It went over the top, and it was like, we know political leanings when we see them.
So Will Callaghan did come back last week, and Will Callaghan started saying, I don't know what he's even saying. I would have to look at his timeline to find it. Mike, what was Will Callaghan saying?
I don't think he even knows what he's saying.
Well, one thing he was saying was he wanted our support. He wanted Comicsgate support, but he wanted it without being Comicsgate. And not only did he want our support without being Comicsgate, he insisted upon it.
Yeah, he came in and he said that he was bullied into accepting membership into Comicsgate, and we're like, yes, it doesn't work like that. He was just being all victim-y about it. It's like they bullied me into it. They bullied me into it. So I'm Comicsgate now. Fine, okay, I'm Comicsgate. Come support me. Like,
now, Jeremy, when things like this happen, you know who gets the blame?
Mike S. Miller.
No, you should get the blame. Who gets the blame? I get the blame, and I have to explain to the world that I had nothing to do with this. I don't know what's going. No, I don't actually explain anything. I just kind of take it on the chin.
Yeah, I tried to call you that day, but I think your phone was off, or you were on a live stream.
Asleep, probably. I saw when you called. I saw you tried to reach out to me, and I'd been asleep. I've been going to sleep lately at a reasonable hour.
Good,
like a normal person. But
like an old person.
I'm old, normal, old.
You can't say normal.
But anyway, so Vox can't. You're not allowed. I know. So Vox is very upset with his community, and what he decided to do was go out and trademark Comicsgate.
Well, didn't I mean, the guy doesn't have any problem generating funds on his own books. I mean, why does he feel like he needs to be shaking the tree, so to speak?
Because everyone realized his books suck.
He wants revenge. That's
the
all.
question now, isn't it?
Well, what do you think, Jeremy?
Well, I think it would be interesting to see like an Excel spreadsheet of the Because I mean, Alt Hero or whatever that one was, or whatever that raised a shitload of money. How has the following releases? How have they done? Is it drying up?
I don't know.
His second one's out right now. I don't know. Is it on Freestarter or Indiegogo? I think it's on Indiegogo. Someone might want to check that out. Alt Hero Q.
Yeah, QAnon or something like that. Yeah. So I mean, I tried to approach it from a business perspective, and I don't really know, didn't really know anything about his politics. And I don't really care, to be honest. I mean, I'll probably be in them. Like, I really don't fucking care if the guy's alt-right or not. It doesn't affect me. I was just trying to understand why, from a business perspective, he would attack a community that there's likely some 10, 20% crossover, people that would buy his stuff. And he didn't really have an answer for that. So I didn't, other than he sounds like an emotional guy to me. He seems to be acting like one anyway.
He sounded emotional to you?
Yeah.
Well, we made him cry.
Well, I don't. He says he didn't cry. Listen, I don't want emotionalism. I also don't want people coming in and trademarking, except for Mike. Mike can be a
Sniffles.
I don't want people coming in and trademarking Comicsgate Live. It puts us all in or Comicsgate. It puts us all in an awkward predicament.
Yeah.
It puts us in a very awkward predicament where we have to counter that. We have to decide who owns the name Comicsgate because we don't want to be associated with Vox Day's brand of politics.
We're not supposed to have a leader either. So.
Yeah, we don't want to have a leader. We don't want any of this stuff, and it just kind of puts us in a weird position. He knows that. He's doing this, for that reason. He wants that awkwardness. He wants, a goofy confrontation. He wants to be the Dark Lord
and he wants
comics.
the press.
And he wants the attention. Now, what would you suggest, Jeremy? Where do we go from here? Do we sue him to retain the trademark, by the way, for Comicsgate Live? Because Nick Rakita and a copyright attorney, trademark attorney, hi Cecil, did do a video recently, in fact yesterday, and both of them agree that if anyone has prior Cecil, I will.
That was not me.
That was Elliot. I was waiting for you to play.
What? What'd I do?
It was Cecil.
No, it was Elliot. I saw his thing light
Come
up.
on, Cecil.
Oh, yours. No. It was not me.
It was Cecil.
Now I want to be in the cash grab book since I defended you. I want to be like
I wanted to be in the cash grab book.
That's going to be a really big
Everybody wants to be in the cash grab book.
I don't want to be in it.
You can pay to be in it. It's a perk.
a perk, huh? That's well designed.
All right, so I don't know. Anyway, they said that I probably have prior ownership. I probably do own the trademark.
Definitely. Fuck that guy. He's a bigger asshole than Robbie Rectum.
Yeah. That's a pretty big one. As the supposed creator of Comicsgate, I am totally cool with Ethan just taking the name.
There you go.
I would take it for the community. I want everyone to know, anyone who's listening, if I fight for the trademark Comicsgate Live, if I fight in court, which is what's probably going to happen now, I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for the community. So you guys have to understand that this name would be held in trust. It does not mean in any way. It's not me saying I am the leader of Comicsgate. It's not me saying I own Comicsgate. It's none of those things. It just needs to be protected. It just needs to be protected from, it doesn't have to be Vox Day. It could be anyone. I mean, SJWs could come in and do the same thing. And Vox was quite right when he warned us. He said, SJWs could do this. I'm doing it first to teach you all a lesson. All right, well, we got your lesson. We're going to have to go to court, I guess, if it's that important to you. But it does need to be protected because it represents something to a lot of hopeful people right now. And I don't think it represents much to Vox Day. So, I just want to make that clear so that everyone knows, this isn't, I'm not hijacking this name. I just feel like if somebody's going to own it and somebody is going to own it, it better be me.
Could we crowdfund for legal defense?
Possibly.
I'll set that up.
It's something that.
Why don't I believe that?
I'll never get it.
Yeah, I've already got lawyers and stuff, and they're already doing this. That's it's already happening. It's already going forward. I already pulled the trigger today. So it's happening. But yeah, it might be expensive. We might crowdfund for it. We might see if the community wants to do it.
Well, it just seems a shame that you would be, fitting the bill for the whole thing, where if everybody on this chat and the community are like-minded, then maybe we could all pull together and crowdfund so the legal bills can be paid.
People saying don't do it, EVS. Sorry, already done. It's already done.
Come on, you don't need to spend money on this. Maybe we could just move the needle.
Wait. It's already done. No, it's not a dead carcass. We don't walk away from this. We work really hard to build up this community, and there are so many hit pieces with the word Comicsgate attached to it. I demand ownership.
Yeah, but
I want those hit pieces to refer to us forever. When people search for them on the internet.
My nephew's on a team. It's like the Oyster Bay Yankees, and no one's confusing them for the real Yankees. That's what his shit is. He's just like a little stealing a name and no one's gonna read it. No one gives a shit. Just ignore him and just keep using.
See, so I can't. He's gonna own the trademark. We can't.
Because he'll shut you down.
To us for using it.
I won't be able to call this stream Comicsgate Live anymore. You see my TM right next to it? That's me claiming ownership of it right now. I've had prior use. I've been using the name Comicsgate to make money for the last 3 months, which gives me ownership over it. I have monetized Comicsgate. Just like I'm about to monetize Vox Day.
Ethan's a gatekeeper.
Yeah, I might be.
At least a Vox Day.
Ethan is an oppressive white man.
Definitely.
Wait a minute, Ethan's white?
I know.
I'm like a purple color, actually. In front of the screen. Jeremy, what do you think? Do I have your blessing or no? Or are you just going to watch this and just, is this lulz? Is this lol cow? What do you think?
I mean, I think that I would back you 100% in whatever you feel like is right. But I would think if you're going to go, okay, so what Vox needs, and he's probably listening to this stream.
Of course he is.
He needs is exposure. He needs to be relevant again. He hasn't been relevant in forever. And if you're going to take him to court, I think if you do it, then you don't make a huge spectacle of it because that's what he wants. Just go and win it, own it, fine, but you're giving him something to fight against, which is what he needs. Because
are you saying that Vox Day is irrelevant right now?
Well, it's pretty clearly factual. I mean, I think that he's not as relevant as he wants to be. Clearly, I mean, you can't really argue against the fact that the guy did raise a shitload of money for that comic.
He did in $5,000 chunks. It was very peculiar. And when I asked him about it, he said, so I find that odd. I find that weird. But that's none of my business. The point of all this is, if he had his business intact, it would be growing on its own right now. He does not need to take over Comicsgate. We are doing just fine on his own. He can't just jump in front of an army that already exists and declare himself the leader, which is what he's doing. This army already exists. It mobilized itself. It's marching forward. Vox Day jumped in front of it and said, "Follow me."
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
Here?
Sorry, that's a baby.
Oh my
I
God!
went to go and get her. She was upset. I'm watching
like
baby. I'm sorry. She likes watching you, Ethan.
All right, good.
Yeah, Ethan's like a pair of jingly keys.
Voice.
And I am. I definitely am. All right, so good. I appreciate it, Jeremy. I listened to your wise counsel. You have always counseled me about how to handle my YouTube page, and even though I only did half of what you told me to do,
Yeah.
I have wise counsel for you as well, Ethan.
Let's hear it.
Please do not wear any of those buttonfly jeans while you're gaining weight.
Oh my God.
That could go off with the speed of like a 44 caliber. It could hurt a child if one of those buttons, buttons were to come off. I know you have little ones in the house, so just stick with the zipper or
conscious of that. Yeah.
I think he just called you fat.
No. He could put in pregnancy panels also. Because it's pie. It's September. It's pie season. It
is pie eating season.
It's pie season. Let's just all be practical here and be safe.
Let's be safe. Let's be safe with the pies.
Are you going to? So I was looking at buying tickets for this Fan Fest thing. Are you still planning on going to that?
What, Star Wars Celebration?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They're out of 4-day passes already. So I was like, I don't know if I should. I wanted
Go
to
to StubHub. I would just buy them like secondhand.
Oh, I suppose they're out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. The High Council's gonna go. Everybody's gonna go there. It's gonna be great. We're gonna hang out with Pablo Hidalgo.
Nice.
We'll hang out with the Lucasfilm Story Group. That's Nerd Wonder, who's being very Nerd Wonder is making all kinds of crazy noises tonight.
It's not me. It's the baby.
Woof. All right.
Can you put a muzzle on it or something?
Wonder.
Stick a rag in its mouth? I mean, it puts things in its mouth already. Just put a rag there.
I can't tell. That sounds like Nerd Wonder's usual voice, though.
When he said put a rag in its mouth, he was talking.
Somebody, baby. Oh, you sad.
All right, I'm muting Nerd Wonder now.
Thank you.
Nerd
We
Wonder
shouldn't have invited her.
Well, you know.
Invited me, Nasser.
All right.
And you know what? And that woman before, she was telling those stories. It was very drawn out. You know what you should do to her? Make Nasser tell her a story. How she fucking likes it.
Oh, we had the honey badgers on. Jeremy.
Give her a taste of her own medicine. Let Nasser spin a yarn.
No, why do you hate her so much, Cecil? Damn.
Yeah, that's true. That is a little cool.
All right, we had what's her name from the Honey Badgers on, and a lot of people told me not to do it. But
Karen Strawn?
Huh?
Was it Karen Strawn?
No, it was
the one with the comic
Allison.
book?
Yeah. Allison T.
I don't know anything about her. I'm on the fence. I don't know them well enough. I know they have a lot of critics, like most of us do. I just don't have time to. I've been on their show before, I think. The lawsuit thing, I don't know where I land on that. That got him some negative press, but you know, at a base level, her story sounds like something I can sympathize with. But all I know about it is, well, I stood up against feminism, and now I have all these extra comic books. I don't know if, I don't know anything about it. This blacklist, is this Mark Waid? Is this all verifiable stuff?
It sounded weird to me. Like, it did. It sounded a little unusual, but I wasn't listening that hard. I was making jokes.
Well, I was watching. Yeah, I saw that. I watched the video. Everyone wanted me to cover it today, and I was like, man, there's too much to verify here. If Mark Waid did in fact publicly admonish her or something, and if this blacklist is confirmable, and if she's listening, if you can confirm these things exist, I'll cover it.
Yeah.
But there's too many things. Let's put it this way: if everything she said is true, I'm 100% on her side.
Yeah.
But there's just too much to know.
Wow, why didn't we know about this when it was happening? Are we just too wrapped up in ourselves?
The lawsuit was a few years ago. That's why.
Oh, I see.
2016 or something like that, I think.
Yeah, it seems like something Yellow Flash would have been all over, but I guess it was before Comicsgate was up and moving.
Well, the comic thing, everything I'd heard of the lawsuit was really nothing to do with comics, and everything with them having a booth at a convention and then getting asked to leave that convention for, I don't know, SJW reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I never had heard the comics angle until I saw it floating around this morning. And it is sad that she's got all these extra books, but then, there's some simple questions I would ask, why don't you start an Indiegogo and sell your books? Why don't you,
she
if
sells
them
on her website, apparently.
Oh, okay. So I mean,
That's a good question. Why doesn't
She
she
reached
just
out
open
to me.
Indiegogo?
He did send me a message, a private message, and said, "Hey, you." Let me see what it says here. Since you're a pro at marketing this stuff, would it be worth it to do an Indiegogo for my already printed books? I mean, that's like a question that I don't know if I can answer.
well, you'd only be using Indiegogo then as a platform, right? Like,
to sell comics. It'd be a store.
yeah, I mean, it's I mean, maybe if it's just an avenue,
Like
like
do
people,
Etsy, like Alterna does. They do it on Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you could do it there too. I mean, people just like, you know, the checkout and all that stuff. There's something to the Indiegogo. I actually don't think it's a terrible idea. Where she could crowdfund to prevent, she's getting countersued, which I think is really shitty.
Wow.
From the Mary Sue for like 175 grand up to 175.
For what? For what?
Because she lost the legal fee, because she lost the court case, they're coming after her for the legal fees.
I see.
So
that's not a good sign that she lost the court case.
No, it isn't. And precedent says that they can get. Precedent says they'll get between 5 and 10% or something like that, most likely, if they win. Which who knows? But I mean, even in my own experience with lawyers talking about recouping legal fees, it's a long shot, at least in the United States. Very, very, very long shot. Unless it's a complete blowout, you know?
Yeah.
So what she should do, in my opinion, is set aside that fund. Say, look, it looks like I'm probably, at worst, I'll be on the hook for $10,000. Here, I don't want anything for free. I just want to raise it by selling these books I already own. Let's do it on Indiegogo or Kickstarter. You know what I mean? Or GoFundMe even. Well, Indiegogo. And then just have your donation reward, you know, a minimum of $10. And for anyone who donates $10, you get a copy of her book. You know, do the math that way. And that's what I would do if I were her. Support the lawsuit, get my book, as opposed to selling her book.
This is very smart, very wise. Or let's see, what's the other option? What could she do? Well, start over again. Let's put all the books, reprint them as one big fat volume and do that on Indigo. Well, she wants to get rid of the books that are in her attic.
Yeah, she's got $10,000 in books. That means she's got probably what, 20,000 copies. She's got weight to move.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about the book if it's any good or not either, which isn't going to help.
Is there like a teaser version out there?
There must be.
Why doesn't she send 2 copies to Richard for him to review on his channel?
I'm surprised they even got that part.
That could go the wrong way.
That will go the wrong way. Richard will, Zach will be merciless.
Maybe Mim would be a good idea.
I can't get Mim on this show. I invited Mim in particular to come on here. I like his British accent.
For the right price, I'll give it a fantastic review.
There you go. There you go, Allison. Well, all right. Well, thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate all this. I appreciate your wise counsel. Your wise counsel.
It was nice. Thanks for having me on. It's always nice to I usually watch a show, one of your many shows, once a day. So I appreciate you. Yeah.
No, we're doing Cyberfrog. Cyberfrog is almost over. So we got to do nonstop live streams. We got 9 hours. We've raised $76,497 so far for this variant cover.
Oh,
and we got.
Am I supposed to back that? Let me go back that.
You don't have to back that. Don't worry about that.
But you can back Lone Star. Let me jump in there.
Mike. But I appreciate you.
Book.
Yeah. I appreciate you, Jeremy. Any word about the legal stuff that you want to pass on or no?
Actually, just got an email from Bill, half Asian super lawyer Bill Richmond while we were on the live stream. It actually took me a long time to get him, without being too specific, like you got to basically build the case, right? So you have to establish damages, and then you're really getting down to the every penny. So it's a very long Excel spreadsheet. I finally got it to him last week, Thursday. after the long weekend. He got back to me just now while we were talking, and he said that they're building the structure of the suit around that right now. So I'm hoping to be able to like publicly go over that, because once it's filed, then it's public record, and I can talk about it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully everything's going good. The funds are plenty right now. We're still on the first retainer. At least I haven't gotten a second bill yet. So I try to post updates regularly to the GoFundMe. I said today, like, hey, don't give me any more money. This looks like plenty right now. Let's see what's going on, and see what happens. Ideally, well, I don't want to say that, but yeah, hopefully it's more than enough to handle everything, and then we figure out what to do with you're gonna have to outdo your charity somehow.
Yeah, I think we'll make that happen though. You've got a lot of people who love you, a lot of support. And I think that's a definite possibility. So, all right, we love you, brother. You take good care today, and we'll talk to you again soon, man.
All right, be good. Hey, send me your if you tweet your like Kickstarters and stuff at me, I will at minimum retweet them, and maybe you'll earn a few of my dollars. But at minimum, I will happy to spread the word. And
all right,
guys, see you later.
Bye. Yeah.
Later.
Jeremy, one of the greatest YouTubers on right now. Way better than me. Almost as good as Cecil.
Almost.
Yeah, Cecil is the best. Cecil is the greatest. All right, yeah. So, Jeremy...
Are you guys following the Asia Argento story? She has a good legal defense. She's been accused of rape. That kid, remember, he was statutory rape. She's now saying he raped her. That's her defense.
Wait, he raped her?
Yeah, well, she kind of confessed to it and then didn't realize it was a crime in California. So now she's saying she was raped by him. So Jeremy did a video on it saying she's the new definition of scum.
Wow. Yeah, Jeremy's got good videos. I gotta watch his videos.
It's a good video.
This is why you don't just believe a stranger when they come out and tell you something.
Yeah.
She looks fantastic, though.
Oh, here's Rakita, Nick Rakita again. The question is whether or not Vox's imprint is likely to cause consumer confusion with Ethan's common law mark for his monetized show on YouTube. Nothing else matters in the legal sense. That's correct. That's entirely correct. And that's why I would win this case, because of course it would. Of course it would. People would think Comicsgate was related to my awesome show, Comicsgate Comics. I don't know. I think it's a slam dunk. I think it is a slam dunk. And Nick Rakita says the same thing. So that is fantastic.
Did you ask Nick if he bought the second cover for Cyberfrog?
If he bought the what?
Did he pick up the Salamandroid cover for Cyberfrog?
I haven't asked him, but I think I will right now. I think
that's the question everybody wants to know the answer to.
Let's get Nick in here and let's see what he thinks of all of this. I'm sure he's watching right now anyway. Nick, all right, Nick.
I have legal questions too about my cash grab that's coming up.
Oh, good. Yeah. Want to jump on?
If you continue saying that you're not going to give someone a product, can you just walk away with the money and not ship something?
Yeah.
I'm up front that no one's getting shit. I mean,
I think, I don't know. I mean, do you think it's legal? Do you think it's legal to do a book that's called Cash Grab and then kind of not ever produce anything?
I certainly hope so. I wouldn't want to break the law.
Richard Pace did.
Yeah, a lot of people have set the precedent. There's a legal precedent for not fulfilling Indiegogos.
But they said they were going to ship something. I'm telling you up front, you get nothing.
Nothing. It's beautiful. All right, let me read some of these super chats. Nick is coming in here. We got our lawyer friend coming in here. Absolutely. I dropped my last Marvel book today, says Obo299. I gave up, Uncle Ethan. Here's the $2.99 they would have gotten. Thank you. Archgeek says, hey, EVS, you asked me to drop you a line, and I did via email and DM. Can you respond before the Indiegogo ends? It's regarding the variant cover. All right, let me look. Archgeek. Is your name Archgeek on Indiegogo? I mean, in my email? Let's find out what you are concerned about. And want to interview me about this, but no, it was about something else.
Also, Cancer Cast is canceled tonight because Nurkish is not feeling well.
What's wrong with Nurkish?
His MS is giving him trouble.
Oh, I didn't know he had MS. Is he okay? Does he need should we send him a bouquet?
No, I think he's. I don't think he wants flowers. He's not that type of guy.
Yes, he is.
He wants prayers, but not from me. Maybe Mike and Doug would work better.
But yeah, he definitely wants them from Doug, and he probably wants them from Mike. You know, definitely. He likes Doug a lot.
Yeah, mine might backfire.
Come back. Return to sender.
I'm trying to find this email from. I'm telling you, it's like digging through a haystack here, looking for a needle.
Hey, Ethan, I just want to thank everybody. I'm up to 3364, 449%.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's great. Guys, yeah, there are a lot of our comics are in the description. You know, go check them out and see if you want to throw any support behind any of them. You're making people's dreams come true. And do appreciate you. Really do appreciate you.
The baby keeps demanding me, so I gotta go. But
Okay.
No women allowed.
as per usual.
It's a boys' club. Nick Rakita, how are you, sir?
Hey, good buddy. How are you?
Did I pronounce your name right?
It's Rakita, but I'll take Rakita.
Okay, Rakita. I'll get it right. Rakita. I can't stand when people call me Shiver and stuff. It's really irritating.
It was Scriver.
I think I did that in our interview, so I apologize.
No, you got it right. You got it right. Or no, you asked and I corrected it. So, yeah. So look, here's what's going on. You're following this. I watched your video. I was appreciative of it.
Thank you.
It was very, very good. It was also, it motivated me to move forward. And I sent your video to my lawyer. And he agreed with you.
Good. I'm glad. Well, and that's the thing I've been trying to impress upon people is I certainly have biases in how these things go, but my bias against Vox Day is based solely on the method by which he did this stuff and a desire to, and his ignorance about copyright and trademark while professing to have some grand knowledge of it. But I'm not an IP attorney at all. So that's why I got Stephen Birch on to help me out, because he's a practicing IP lawyer, and I can certainly research this stuff and talk more competently than a lay person about it. But I wanted to make sure I was correct in my in my analysis. And as it turns out, we're pretty confident in our opinions on that piece.
Maybe you want to run it past Jamal Eigel first.
Yeah.
Jamal Eigel. Yeah, Jamal Eigel has his ideas. You know, he might be right about some of them, but no, he's not. He's not right about any of them. Yeah. So the issue at hand here, and there are a couple of issues, of course. You know, who used it first to make money, in essence, who monetized the phrase Comicsgate, and that's important only because you know, establishing, what would you call it, prior use, or
right. So one of the things Vox Day talked about was this prior use, and prior use is kind of conflated if you look at it from the outside. Prior use does not mean did someone use the phrase Comicsgate before. That would be more appropriate in a copyright sort of situation. Did someone use this character that they created before? But in a trademark situation, it's the first person to use it in a trade line has you know, basically a common law mark. Common law just means a mark established by the existing body of law, not a specific statute. So when you get a registered mark, that's done under the Patent Trademark Registration Act or whatever it is. But you have a mark just because you're afforded protection under our legal system that exists. Mm-hmm. So if you're the first person, and as far as I can tell, you're the first person to use it in trade, specifically relating to this Comicsgate live show, then you have a mark. The question would be, could someone find a prior use of it in trade that would then weaken your your claim to the mark. But then Vox, coming out and attempting to use it on a comic would have to be weighed against your existing mark. And it is possible that the Patent Trademark Board would determine that Vox's use doesn't cause consumer confusion. I would have a hard time believing that. I think any trademark attorney would be able to make a really, really strong case that it would cause customer confusion because you're on here promoting comics under the Comicsgate Live monetized stream, right? Like it's not a secret, and it's not like some new thing. You've been doing it for quite a while. So I don't see how Vox comes out ahead. But again, as my co-host said, judges are going to be judges. So there's always a risk, but I think we both think that you have a good claim to it.
Okay. We issued him a cease and desist today, and so we plan on going forward. Now, Vox has just gone live. With a stream called
I wonder what for.
His stream is called Comicsgate, and Cyberfrog are now free. And there's an X through Killstream, Vox, and Two-Face. He calls me Two-Face. Actually, that looked pretty cool as Two-Face. So let's see what Vox is saying right now.
Any of the people that follow me regularly, any of the people who support my stuff, what you'll find is that I'm actually very interested and responsive to people's opinions when it doesn't get in the way of what I'm doing. And it doesn't. So, well, there's only 6 minutes. Wait, hurry up with your announcement for the chat explain.
Is there a wonder over there?
The exact form of the announcement is, to a certain extent, I need some of the input from these guys from these Comicsgate guys in order to dictate what the form of the announcement is. And so, like I said, I mean, this is a genuine question, a genuine point. And so, yeah, you're not getting the chair. Okay, here we're definitely getting a few of those folks. That's good.
The Vox just speed it up.
Anyhow, let's see here. Yep, now we're coming in. That's good. Okay, so here is the question. If you guys can hold off the spamming for a second, I have a genuine question for you. Do you want us to release the Comicsgate imprint?
What is he doing?
He's so dumb.
He's a super villain.
What does he mean release? Like release the rights to, or like put it out there? I don't
know. I think he means he has the rights now, and he wants to know if we should let him, if he should release the rights.
Sounds kind of like giving into a cease and desist to me, but
yeah,
it's kind of funny. Yes, please. No, yes. Okay. Clarify. The only claim that we have that matters to Comicsgate is that we controlled the Comicsgate imprint. Do you want it or not? Do you want me to release it or not?
but it's ugly though.
Yeah, I don't want that logo.
It's kind of interesting. These guys profess to be so upset about this stuff.
They want him. He wants them to
They're
beg.
not even interested in addressing.
He wants everybody to say yes, please release it. That's what he's looking for right now.
Look, Chris, you're saying cease and desist. Cease and desist what?
You didn't get it yet.
We have done one thing that indicates control. No, you don't. Someone said not yours to release. You don't understand. We literally. No. Oh my gosh!
You don't understand. I'm just too high IQ for you guys.
Yeah.
You have to. It's like watching monkeys hitting a typewriter. They don't understand what they're talking about.
That is racist.
Look, you're not understanding. We literally control the imprint.
It controls the horizontal and vertical.
If you go on and try to publish something, you will not be able to do it because we have control over that.
How does this guy have any followers? The most boring motherfucker.
People will really dislike him.
Right? How does he have more followers than me?
Well, that's easy to understand. But I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Let me then go ahead and make the announcement. We've done exactly what you asked for. We have released the Comicsgate imprint. The Comicsgate imprint is now open. Anyone can take it. The Cyberfrog imprint is also open. Anyone can take it. As long as you have access to the publishing system, you can take unique control of it. So now let me explain what my whole original purpose was. See, these guys are.
Ethan, stop giving this idiot oxygen.
This is
Nick. What do you think of this?
I mean, he's
fans of me.
presuming to release something he doesn't have rights to, which is, I mean, fine, I guess. I can make a whole bunch of Star Wars imprints and release them. I can release release the rights to create Star Wars action figures. It doesn't give anybody the right to actually do it over the trademark holder. So it's just nonsense. It seems to stem from just a gross misunderstanding of what's going on.
Right. It's pretty moronic. I mean, you can't. The Cyberfrog trademark is not open. It belongs to me.
You've used Cyberfrog in trade for what, 2 decades, 3 decades?
Correct. This is a chart of
there'd be no argument on Cyberfrog, and it's a serialized work.
Right.
Sorry about that.
You might have an argument if you did one book of Cyberfrog ever. Maybe
bestsellers in political philosophy back in 2015.
No, I mean, this guy's just.
And what you'll notice
sad.
is they all look.
The other thing is, I have lawyers that are like, seriously, I have like real lawyers who are dealing with this and trademark attorneys.
Yeah, I mean, I figured, especially once he showed up, you would definitely have people going, looking into it.
Well, I had him a month ago. You make sure that.
I'm not talking about the copyrights or trademarks, you morons.
He's advertising his book now.
It's just
his books.
Yeah, don't give him oxygen. Get out of there.
We published this book, and then the SJW.
I think we won. How do you like that?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we won, and I think he just retreated. That was called a full retreat from Vox Day, and he's trying to make it look good. And he was trying to say, "Now just ask me to, and I will."
Yeah, and everybody in here who's watching both streams, back out of his so he doesn't get this.
Yeah. His whole thing was, and by the way, my supporters didn't ask him. They said, "Fuck you, you don't own it," over and over again. I think we won. I think that was Comicsgate's first real victory. We stood up to a bully, and he is a bully. We stood up to him. We called his bluff, and that was a serious bluff when he said, "I will, you will lose this case, and then you're going to pay my legal fees, and that's going to destroy you." And we said, "Fuck you, we're doing it anyway." Your Uncle Ethan stood up to him. Thank you, Nick, for all your help. Seriously, your support and your advice and your ideas were very, very invaluable. I wouldn't have known.
It's my pleasure. Like that's what I try and do is educate people on the law. Luckily, I guess for our relationship, the law happened to be completely on your side on this one.
Yeah. Well, I try to stay on the right side of the law, but I mean, yeah, that was crazy. He's in there now trying to sell his own books. It's humiliating. That's humiliating. And Why did he do that? Why did he want to hurt Comicsgate? Why did he want to hurt this community of comic book fans? When
Because he wanted the press and he didn't care about us. He didn't care about the fans. He didn't care about Comicsgate at all. He just wanted the oxygen. He just wanted people to see him again.
That is stunning and pathetic and
Yeah,
sad.
that was just to remind everybody he's still there and selling comics.
Remember
me.
Pretty much.
Well, hey guys, it's been fun, but I've got a
Nick.
screaming baby, and I got to buzz out. But
Yeah.
thanks for having me on.
From the
and,
bottom of all of our hearts, Comicsgate thanks you. I mean, seriously, thank you for all your help and guidance.
Oh, of course.
Your time is
And,
valuable. Thank you.
If I can ever pop in and chat about something, please let me know. I'm happy to do so.
We will take advantage of your kindness again, believe me. And thank you again very much.
Thanks, guys. You have a good day.
You too.
See ya.
And, what's the statute of limitation on murder in Indiana?
I'm pretty sure it's unlimited. So
Asking for a friend.
all right, guys, have a good one.
Good job. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. This is just fantastic, guys. We're getting good news over and over and over again. It is magnificent. Cyberfrog is up to $76,748. How much does that add up to a page? How much does that add?
That's just for a cover. So that's $76,000.
That's just the cover. So imagine my cover rates are $76,000. How could I ever proceed? I can't afford it. I can't afford to do comics at that rate. You know,
I'll do a cover for you, brother.
I have to bilk my fans for $76,000 every time I draw a cover. Yeah, you guys are awesome. The chat is awesome. I'm proud of you guys. 1,561 people just watched Vox Day back down from all of his legal threats, his attempt to humiliate this community. 1,561 people just saw Comicsgate win yet another fight, another fight.
Hey,
How do
Ethan,
you-
I'm a little new to this, but how does Vox feel he has ownership of Cyberfrog? I kind of understand. I mean, it's lame.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's saying, look, hey, the trademark. If you want to get in there and trademark Cyberfrog, you can do that right now. He's telling SJWs to try to trademark Cyberfrog because Vox doesn't understand the way this works. It doesn't matter if you. I can't go in there. Let's say that for some reason Donkey Kong wasn't like actively trademarked right now, wasn't registered with the trademark office. Let's assume that was the case. I couldn't go in there and just steal Donkey Kong. I have no claim to it. I couldn't just go, hey, the PTO doesn't have Donkey Kong registered right now, so therefore I can steal it. I have no claim to it. Vox thinks that he could just sneak in here and steal Comicsgate simply because nobody had trademarked it, and he's very, very wrong, and he was lying. Now, I have a claim. If anybody has a claim over Comicsgate, it's me, because I've been using the name to make money, like I'm doing right now. You see Comicsgate trademark in parentheses live. That's me taking active ownership and intent to register the trademark of Comicsgate, which warns everybody else off. It's mine. I'm claiming it.
Right. I totally understand that. But didn't he say that he was claiming ownership of Cyberfrog as well?
No, he said Comicsgate is free. Cyberfrog is free, by the way.
Okay.
So just the same way Comicsgate is free and he has no claim over it, he's also saying, by the way, Cyberfrog, go check
so he's
that.
just applying the same rules to that. Yeah, so that
It isn't registered. It isn't registered trademark.
Right,
So go ahead and take it, is what he's saying.
Based on his lame assumption, you could take anything. That's why you brought
correct.
up Donkey Kong, right?
Like
Okay.
Alt Hero.
I got it. Let's go take Old Hero. Do we want it?
We can't. It doesn't belong to us because it
I know,
belongs
I'm
to
just
him.
joking.
I mean, but by his logic, yeah, of course we could.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
If it wasn't registered, you don't have to. All you have to do is just prove. You have to be able to prove that it is yours, that you've been using it to make money, and you're done.
Yeah, I thought just like the sheer existence of the comic is a copyright.
Right. So, yeah. As Gurney Halleck says, registration does not establish the trademark; it just confers certain benefits and regularity. So, I mean, It broadens your rights. It broadens your claim to the thing in question, but it doesn't establish it. It's like, your Cyberfrog is clearly mine. Salamandroid is clearly mine. Heather Swain is mine. Rainbow Brute, I don't know.
Soon.
But yeah, if I rename him, if I change him a little bit, maybe I can make that happen. But that's kind of the way it works. So Vox's
But Rainbow Brute, you have an illustration that you've already showed, and you've talked about it on your show. So
it's parody.
You can
It's
prove
too close. Like
okay.
the question is always,
Parody,
can it be confused with something else? Like, is it going to cause confusion in the minds of Rainbow Bright fans? And the answer is yes, it will conceivably. So I have to announce that it's parody, and that protects me from that. It's clearly a parody. Like, you could do a Star Wars comic as long as Wars is spelled WORSE, Star Wars, and then make a funny parody of Star Wars as much as you want. Yeah.
Got it.
So that's kind of what Rainbow Brood is.
Can you make money off a parody? Isn't parody more like an editorial strip or something like that?
No, you can make money off a parody. Look at Mad Magazine. The whole thing's parody.
Right.
Well, look at what's his name, the musician. What's his name? Weird Al.
Weird Al, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So that's what we're doing right now, and it was an interesting little bit of education because I didn't understand, and there's a lot to this. There's a lot to copyright and trademark law that I don't quite understand yet. But we're all getting a little bit of an education because of Nick and his videos, and also I have an attorney who writes me things that I have to read out loud with my mouth moving, in order to understand. It's like, let me read this aloud so it goes into my brain properly. Listen, Elliot, like I said, I'm dumb. Yeah, so, we're learning things as we go. Vox was completely strange, like off base, way off base with everything that he was saying. Mark C says Rainbow Brute could be confused with Kyle Ritter for $2. Thank you. Vox Day looks like a soy Lex Luthor, says Coronas. Eddie Wilson, this is Comicsgate Gate. Reminds me of when my band broke up. CR Whiskey Caesar, we need chrome variant cover. Well, you have 8 hours to do it. We're close. We need $23,000 or so. That's possible. Just another person, $5. May I suggest after winning ownership, issuing a restraining order on him, just to rub his nose in it? Maybe I will. Trencher 1375. If you want you to worry, EVS, he got nothing. Do I look worried? Did I look worried through this whole thing? I employ tons of lawyer. Cool Sax. All I needed to do, by the way, is just talk today. I just needed to figure things out. I wanted to talk to Andrea, wanted to talk to the fans. I wanted to talk to Comicsgate and see how Comicsgate roughly felt. And then I pulled the trigger. I said, let's do it. My lawyer gave me steps 1 through 4. And I said, let's do steps 1 through 3 and see what happens. And that got implemented today. All right. So Cool Sax Cerrone, thanks for $2. I'm now releasing the Jawbreakers imprint. Eddie Wilson Cecil makes me feel angry, makes me feel so mean. OF, thanks for $2. Seen the new SJW Captain Marvel picks? We're gonna do a video about that. Let's do a video about Captain Marvel.
Nah.
No.
No. She looks upset. She looks exactly. Her face looks exactly like the face you make when the person in front of you takes out coupons.
At the supermarket.
At the supermarket, she's got that face like, I picked the wrong fucking line this time. Like that.
She looks like the girl next door, but literally. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like not in a good way.
Yeah, like if she's the star, what are the background actresses gonna look like?
Yeah.
They gotta get someone. They gotta get people that can't upstage her. They gotta get me back there, basically.
Yeah. Cecil, you would upstage anyone. You would. You're funny. Like you have a good presence.
Oh, I'm reading in the Comicsgate chat right now that Late Night Comic has come out and said that he's been the mole for the last year. Him and Ren Famous.
Mm.
So I think everybody kind of figured that out. Nasser was right. Nasser was the first
Wait,
one
who's been
to-
the mole? I was imagining something. What did I miss?
Where were you?
I was thinking about. I was reading the chat and somebody said that nothing. Anyway, go ahead.
Now I forgot. Nasser, yeah. Late Night Comics. The guy Late Night Comics. He's been like a mainstay in the Comicsgate community for like the last year.
He's a mole.
He's been a mole. He came out and admitted it. But Nasser was the first one to call it on him a couple weeks ago. And that was his big downfall. He started freaking out after Nasser unfollowed him. You broke him, Nasser.
Whoa. He was a mole
Yeah,
all
I can't
this
even
time.
break a Kit Kat, as Cecil says.
Wow.
Nasser, you're a hero.
You know, it's a good thing I never say anything to anybody. People send me like DMs, and I very rarely say anything. I'm like, "That's good, okay, sounds great." That like whatever I can type with one finger in 2 seconds. That's the response you're going to get out of me 99% of the time.
Is the equivalent of yeah.
How can you be a mole on Twitter? It's all public.
Because he's an idiot.
Well,
right. I think he was in some group chats or something that I'm not in, but that's what I've heard from people.
Yeah, I never saw him on any of ours.
He got a little nutty at the end. He was saying some
He
weird
was
stuff.
always kind of nutty.
Yeah.
Good job sniffing him out, Nasser.
Yeah. By the way, this show is getting really good.
Hey, so I spoke to CB Cebulski today on the phone, you guys.
No.
Yes, he did. Go ahead. You want to tell the story?
So I actually made a video about it. If you guys want to check it out, I talk about my thoughts about the conversation. But I've been real pissed, like I said, with all this stuff happening. So I called Marvel like last week to complain, and they put me to this like Tim Chung guy. The lady that answered is like, "Oh, this guy will help." So I started speaking to this Tim guy, and he's like, I can't help you. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know why they sent you to me." I'm like, whatever. So he took my name and number, and he's like, "We'll call you back." Of course, I didn't get a call back. And then so the weekend passes, and I tried to call Monday, but I didn't know it was a holiday. So then I called today because I was busy
That
yesterday.
doesn't have anything to do with the goddamn story about calling yesterday. And
I don't care. I'm giving you all the little details, Cecil.
Don't.
Sounds like a Badger story.
kid.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, long story short, the lady today is like, I told her that the Tim dude couldn't help me, and she's like, "I'll put you to someone else." So she connects me to some person, and I didn't know it was CB because I didn't know how his voice sounds because I only talked to him for like a minute, like 4 months ago, and so I'm like, "Hello, I'm Nasser Rabadi. I had a complaint." He's like, "Okay, sure." So I start complaining about like Mark Waid, and I'm like, this is the second small publisher he harassed, and he drove this dude to suicidal thoughts and stuff, and I'm like, how is that fine with you guys? And CB told me flat out, he's like, we don't care what these people do. And I'm like, I'm asking about Al Ewing and Blockbots. I'm like, do you care if he limits your guys' reach to the customers? And CB's like, nope, we're fine if they Blockbot. And I'm like, so you guys don't have a social media policy or anything? He's like, we do, and we make sure that they follow it, which makes no sense if he says we don't care if they use Blockbots. But he was like so angry on the phone. But it's funny because at the con he was like nice, but then when he got him on the phone, he was like all angry.
You cornered him.
So I mean, you heard it from I heard it from CB himself, the editor-in-chief. We don't care if they Blockbot.
Well, they don't care. They really don't care about that.
Did you know it was the same guy that you were the same guy from the convention with Bemis? Did he know? Realize?
If I knew from the start it was CB, I would have told him that, but I didn't know till the end. I was like, we were done with the conversation, and I was like, so, what is your name? And he's like, CB. I'm like, oh, like, I just really didn't recognize his voice because I mean I only heard it for like a minute, like 4 months ago or something.
It was better when you told me in private. I think when you tell a story too many times, it loses something. It loses the.
It does.
Ethan,
What?
tell your version.
I think it would only get worse.
You sound like he was like a Fraggle Rock guy. He said stuff.
Let's see. Cyberfrog's still due out in November. Yeah, it'll be done in November. It'll be ready and in my hands in November. It'll get to you guys before Christmas, though. Absolutely. Harry, some of you will get it in November. Harry Bergeron, Vox Day said SJWs would come and trademark Comicsgate, and he was right. I know. Lord Vulcan, $2 if this is a call to war. I'm in. Absolutely. Trencher, DJ Ray, $4.99. Uncle Ethan as your Centurion. I did my duty to give Vox a piece of my mind on his live stream right now. Hail, Dark Lord Ethan. Well met. Trencher, $13.75. I did not mean he got you worried, just that he wanted to. Yeah. Chris W. Nasser interrupted CB's lunch. That's why he's mad.
Right. Right. He probably had like a big meatball that fell out of his sandwich, and the marinara sauce got on his shirt, and he was
He likes to
angry.
eat. He likes to eat. So do I. Darth Bobcat, has Claven interviewed your or has Claven aired your interview yet? Not that I know of. Not that I know of. But it wasn't that good. So when it does air, I'm not. I told you guys why it wasn't that good. I spent like all 15 minutes telling the history of Comicsgate and barely got to talk about Cyberfrog. Yakko say $2 just upgraded to the $50 perk. Ethan, thank you. Well hung in dung, thanks for £2. Drink every time he misses his super chat. Shit face. No. I'm getting to him. Mark C. Rainbow Brute could be confused with Kyle Ritter. Yeah. I am now releasing the Jawbreakers imprint. Says Cool Sack Cerrone. That would be funny. Cecil makes me feel angry. Seen the new. Okay, I am now releasing the Blacklist Universe imprint. Says Integer Spin. Michael Dwayne, $2. Has Vox ever had a coherent thought in his life? Radical Comics, thanks for $10. Greeting, Uncle E. I want to make sure I understand. The pull list boycott for Marvel, DC, and Image extends to a DC creator like Jeff Johns as well. I don't remember him being anti-consumer. What is he talking about? What pull list boycott?
I think he's talking about some people want to just boycott Marvel and DC entirely in order to not let the money that we spend there fund the other crap that they're putting out. Because they're putting out a lot of books at a loss.
Yeah, I don't endorse a boycott. I don't. It's not something I personally endorse. I never have in any way. Not for Star Wars, not for comics. I leave that up to you guys. I believe that you vote with your wallet, and therefore, I would never say to my subscribers, hey, boycott everything that you love, just to amuse me. I think that would be selfish. So I am telling you now, there is no boycott that I am aware of or that I support and endorse. Go out and buy all the comics you want. Enjoy them. Teresa the Kid, $2. Vox is bitch made. Gojirify. EVS, if you say release it, then you're saying it was his to begin with. I'm not saying release it. So I understand what he's saying. Yeah, he was trying to get people to admit that it was his. Spirits Car, but nobody did. Spirits Car, thanks for $1.99. Comicsgate is a chapter in the history of comics. Aaron Cook, here's $5 for the Get Nasser a Hooker fund. Nasser, do you want a hooker?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll spend that $5 on I don't know, pie then. Eddie Wilson, $1.99. Vox makes me feel angry. He makes me feel so mean. Eddie Wilson keeps saying the same thing. Teresa the Kid, thank you, Uncle E. Have some pie on me. And I got $3.14. DC Marvel went from Atlas and Timely to bigger things. Comicsgate can emerge from its own chrysalis. Yeah, of course. That's what we think too. I mean, Micah Mathis, Vox is Starscream. Ethan is Optimus. Are we good? Cease and desist order plus trademark ASAP plus we support you, says Christian Parker. Thank you. And then a bunch of letters in a row. $10. Approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint and do not tremble. For the Lord is your God, that he goeth with you to fight against your enemies to save you. Sam Petrie, thanks for $10. Nah. It has everything to do with leadership. Centrists are getting off their asses now, while the old right wing, who's been in the shadows forever, stay mediocre. Jorge Rossetti, Lord Cecil has the hottest IP in the CG game. I agree. I'm telling you, Cash Grab is going to be. I don't want to place bets.
I'm already spending the money.
Are you really?
Who's drawing it?
I don't know.
What do you, Tim Lim. The great Tim Lim.
Tim Lim. He put out the cover already. Looks fantastic.
It does look really good, man.
It does.
It looks good. What are you going to do with that money? Let's say that you get handed, after everything's paid for, you got $100,000. What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to eat it, drink it, and snort it.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
Well,
No hookers, though.
No, yeah. A couple, but not a $5 hooker like that guy was trying to send Nasser. Just stay away from
That's
that.
disgusting, yeah. I test drove a new Ford Expedition yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't buy it, though. I can't get myself to spend that kind of money.
Do it. Pull the trigger. Just do it. If
No,
not,
I can't. I can't.
Not now. When? Right before winter, you'd like to have it perfect.
Boom. I have a Ford Explorer now. It's 2013. I bought it new and it's paid off. And I'm just like, I finally paid it off this year. And it's like, I'm gonna drive it. Can I drive it for a couple of years for free? I mean, you know what I mean? Like even though I got in that car and I was just like, oh my God, it's all new and fresh and it's way bigger. I don't know. I can't get myself to do it.
Yeah, don't waste the money.
Yeah, it was like $76,000 or something.
Holy
like that.
crap! Yeah, dude.
I'm thinking about it though. I'll dream about it for a little while. Sketch Therapy. We don't want Marvel's alt-left comics or Vox Day's alt-right comics. Both hate our centrist conversation. Plus, thank you for Elliot Fernandez visit. Elliot's a regular here now.
Yeah. So Sketch.
Third or fourth time in here. I mean, he's people are getting used to him. He's you know. Break All Day. They were reminiscent of the MC Hammer balloon pants from the late 80s to 90s. Soy EVS days before he knew what soy was. Those are my soy pants. Tyler Preston says, do Tim Doyle really rape people's pets?
Yes.
He said he did.
Yes, keep your pets away.
He actually did make that claim. He said that he used to rape people's pets and that he hears the voices of people's pets in his head enticing him to have sex with them. And he encourages people to keep their pets away from him. He said this to his neighbor, who was virtually a stranger. He is a really weirdo guy. People say, what's up with Tim Doyle? Like, why does he act like this? And the reason why Tim Doyle acts like this is because Tim Doyle thinks he's on TV. Now,
he's an attention whore, basically.
Yeah, if you understand that he thinks he's on TV all the time, like he's got his own little funny show and everyone's laughing along with him. You know, he's got the funny lines and he's the wacky character. Then most of his actions make sense. His political extremism doesn't make much sense, but that's why he walked around in that green bikini, because he's on TV. That's what he would do if he had his own little comedy show.
That sounds like James Gunn.
Yeah, but James Gunn actually is on TV. Like Tim Doyle is not fucking on TV. He lives in Austin, Texas. But I mean, that's the thing. And so, you know, you do stupid things when you think you're on TV.
Hey, Ethan.
What?
Somebody in the chat says we should get Frank Cho. Do you know Frank Cho?
I've met him. Do I know him? Yeah, I mean, I know of him, and I think he knows who I am too. But is he sympathetic to Comicsgate? I assume everyone hates me. Until
you guys have a common enemy in Robbie Rodriguez.
Well, yeah, of course. But I mean, I can't risk people going through what people go through when they join Comicsgate. It's, you know, I do it. You know, it's like if you are Comicsgate, you have to be Comicsgate, and you're going to go through this torment. But it's like being gay almost. I wouldn't say. Well, maybe I shouldn't say it that way. But
yeah,
it is. You just are Comicsgate in your heart, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't change your mind because you can't be untrue to who you are. This is what you believe. This is how you feel. This is who you are, and thus you are going to take a lot of abuse for it. And that's, you know, that's not something that I want to confer onto anyone else. So I'm much safer just assuming that Frank Cho doesn't like me until he makes, you know, a little step towards me.
You know, I met him this year, and he looked at me like I had leprosy.
Really?
Yeah, I was like,
I've never met you. Does it look like you have leprosy?
No, but that's like the expression on his face. I was like, hi. I was like, "Hi, Frank." And he's just giving me this look.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, everyone's talking about gay now. They're like, gay. Well, that's the thing. I don't know. That's the most immediate comparison I could think of. It just feels like you can't out somebody for being a conservative.
Yeah, there's gonna be a new hit piece on this later.
Yeah. Let's see. Mortal V says Ethan is afraid of being hurt. He wants Frank to pass the note to him that says, "Do you like me? Y or N?" Oh yeah, I do. Am I afraid of being hurt? No, I'm not afraid of being hurt.
No, you just don't want to recruit.
Yeah, I'm not out to recruit anyone. That's correct. And I would tell, Elliot. Elliot took a long time to get in here, and Elliot kind of sent me a couple notes that said, "Do you like me? Y or N?" More or less. And
fill in the box.
Yeah, I went, "Oh, hey." But I mean, you don't want to put people through this. Look at Look at the Braywizers. Look at Peter Samiti. It's like you want to inflict that kind of pain on people. That's the reality of this. Gojirify says Ethan is Newman now. Well, what? Oh, if am I Newman? No.
Hello, Newman.
From Seinfeld, yeah. Let's see. On a side
Taking a toll
note,
on me too.
He meant Newman to the Costanza that is.
No, Jerry.
No,
but that's what he was talking about. Was
I think I would be Jerry Seinfeld if Mark Waid is what's his name? I was George
Costanza. No, because they're friends. He would have to be Newman then.
Interesting. Chicken Sith says, "Dear Theodore, nobody likes a rich kid poser." Hashtag Comicsgate. Sketch therapy. On a side note, how is Jeremy's lawsuit coming along? Does the GoFundMe need a re-up? We're here for you, Jeremy. So he answered that. He's working on it. Connor Ward, Clavin show was a no-show. Disappointed in them. It'll happen. It'll come out when they have a slow news day. Like I said, I'm not anxious for it because I really didn't. You want to hear me run down a list of all the bad things that I've been through in comics? That's what it was. It sucked. I wish I could take a second chance at it. It's not like I was bad. I wasn't like I didn't pull a Zach. It's just I didn't watch the clock. It's like I didn't.
So what would you do if you had a second chance at it?
Second chance. Ethan, talk about working at DC. Okay, yeah, I worked at DC for a little while. Got a lot of cool books done.
Right.
It lasted 20 years until people really found out what my politics were. They found out I voted for Trump, and they threw me out of comics. Basically, they stalked, harassed me, made it difficult for me to get work, and that's why I had to start my own thing, which was Cyberfrog. And right now, it's made $538,000 in funding. So, what do you think of that? And then you go ahead and ask me the questions from there. But I should have. I'll get better at this. Salvator, Obi-Wan, hello there. I started this gangsta shit. When are we going to get the Cyberpunk video game? I hope soon. I do hope soon. That's one thing I want. This lawsuit against Fox Day, says Sketch Therapy, is very much like the lawsuit against Jeremy Hambley's attacker. We can't let him get away with it, and we will fund it monthly post of the GoFundMe. This is bigger than one person. I appreciate that support. I don't think we're going to need to do it. I'm still sending him the cease and desist. That's on its way. The Attic Hatch Sound, $5. Tell people, yes, you do hate. You hate political bigotry and tokenism. Short and sweet. Gojirify, where are the wives at? Well, you saw Andrea. Andrea actually poked her. I was very proud of her. She's very shy.
I'll find mine.
Yeah. She's very shy, and
here she is.
Just go to that Romanian website.
It's his hand. His hand is his wife.
Oh. No.
Oh God! To be 21 again. Cyberfrog is over $77,000 now. How about that? $77,044.
Wow.
And we've got 8 hours to go. 8 hours. Finally bought my copy of Cyberfrog. Hashtag Piegate, says MCC Studios 89. Quartering Ethan's head isn't going to fit out of the basement. I guess I'm getting conceited. Well Hung in Dung, is Mike streaming from the moon in 1996? It is weird.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, the camera's not great. It's not great. I mean,
Ethan, I'm telling you, Vox is going to have some NWA videos in the beginning of his live stream from now on.
That's fine, because I don't own the NWA videos either, so that works for me. That'd be justice.
Hilarious.
$5 donation from somebody. Message retracted. People Circus, £2. Can you copyright Comicsgate official instead? Maybe. James Wood, $10. Hey EVS, are you going to do a 5-hour live stream tonight to close out Cyberfrog? Well, we're in the middle of it right now. I might take a break. I want to go up and be with my family in a little bit, but I'll come back down and we'll go all night long until this thing ends. Guys, please call it Jew hatred, not anti-Semitism, a euphemism coined by a Jew hater, says Cars in Depth. I don't like the word Jew bothers me. I can say Jews or Jewish people, but when you say Jew, does it sound kind of Hitlery or what?
Nah.
No, you can say Jew. You're a Jew.
Yeah, I'm a Jew. I'm not a Jew, but my kids are Jews.
I just find it weird. I don't know. I find it uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, Jew. I like Jews spelled Jooooooooz. That's fine. That's better.
It's the Jews.
I got 2 kids who are Jewish too, so it's all good. Cool Sack Cerrone, $10. Hey, Uncle Ethan, this is very important. I need a new office chair. What did you get? I wish I could remember what it's called, but it's great. It's like so nicely padded. They said it can fit people up to 400 pounds, and I went, "That's perfect." And Andrea went,
Looking
"What
for the
are
future?
you?" Yeah. There's room to grow. There's room to grow. And it's a good chair. I'm happy with it. I sit in it. It's nice and stable. You know, the other one was all creaky, and this one's quiet. I like it.
Wait, so you said it's it holds 400 pounds?
Yeah.
So you're if you minus your weight, how many pounds of pie can you hold with it?
Like 160 pounds of pie.
That's a lot of pie.
Yeah. No. Yeah. How much would that be? Like 160 pounds of pie.
Now you got to do the math and figure out how many that is.
Yeah. Let's see. No different from putting Trump's words in the Red Skull's mouth. Awful, says Harry Bergeron. Bouncer Comics, use a thug from the 1930s, says Melissa Irving. People have ideas. People want to, people were afraid we're going to run away from Comicsgate. We're not. GRP poll, Vox Partners equals John Delarose. I have problems with John Delarose. I like him. But yeah, the Vox Day is going to make it. John, come on now. He would have made it already. Trencher 1375, he means that breast size is the art style. 50 Shades of Vox Day by Nasser After Dark, says Well Hung and Dung. John Gonzalez, the alt-right believe all Jews are sneaky tricksters, yet Vox has been acting quite shifty. Could he be a quarter Jew? See, I'm saying Jew now by that logic. Why do we have to talk about Jews? Obo299, I dropped my last Marvel book today. I gave up Uncle Ethan. Here's the $2.99 they would have gotten. Okay, so I'm all caught up.
Also, by the way, the people that are worried that you're going to run away from Comicsgate, don't worry. Ethan will not run away at all. Ethan will not run.
I won't run. I'll walk briskly.
Waddle.
Or ride a motorcycle, or one of those hover rounds.
Yeah.
A
little rascal, they call it.
A people mover. I'm getting one for my stairs over here. See the staircase there? I'm going to put one of those people movers that Livia Soprano rode up and down her stairs in.
Also in Gremlins, they had one.
Oh, really?
Catapulted her through the roof.
Yeah, the Gremlins fucked with it, and it shot the woman out the window.
It was horrible. Scarred.
Yeah.
Is my microphone okay, or are people just
sound good?
Oh,
I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, Art, you're still here. I thought you fell asleep.
I'm focusing on these inks on this black and white cover, so I'm kind of entranced.
Can I apologize to Nasser, because I think when I interrupted his story before, I think that's what ruined it.
It totally is.
Go ahead and apologize. Yeah, that's important.
I'm sorry. I think me interrupting you really destroyed it. I'm sure it wasn't that horrible, but it was because of me.
That is really brave of you to do that. I mean,
Thank
you.
for
That's falling on a
noticing.
Grenade for your friend.
I think I could survive falling on a grenade right now.
Could you? It might be preferable to another Nasser story. What do you think?
Well, let's put it this way: if Nasser started another story and a grenade rolled in here, I would jump on it.
Awesome. Let's see. Thanks for clarifying, Uncle Ethan. Hail Caesar. We stand with the Brightweiser, says Radical Comics. Harry Bergeron, Late Night Comics was the most toxic among us. He said the most toxic thing to Cook's widow during that whole episode. Yeah, I'm still getting blamed for that. I did nothing wrong. And people are like, don't you and I did nothing wrong. I said absolutely nothing wrong.
I think most of you guys just exist, and then they come after you. Like I just see hit pieces like Ethan is breathing today.
That's what they want. They just want me. But I mean, I did nothing wrong. And when I spoke up, I spoke the truth. Every single time I've spoke the truth. I've never said anything dishonest, anything inaccurate about Marsha Cook or Darwin Cook. And I even though I'm not his, I didn't know him. I wasn't family. I do have my memories of him, and they're important to me too. I spent some time with him, and I have my memories, and I value them, and I'm not going to lie about them. We all have our own truths, I think, when it comes to things like this. The Dallas Deadeye, thanks for $5. My dad's been driving the same truck for 17 years. We ran the numbers. He has saved $100K by not driving buying a new vehicle. Yeah, Aaron Cook, $5. Cecil, if you think $5 hookers are bad, check the rates on Tennessee lot lizards.
I'll check that out.
Aaron Cook, Cecil, if you think, I just read that one. Honey Badger Radio, okay, hello. Your chat ground me down. I put a direct link to buy Xenospora on Feed the Badger. So it's on Feed the Badger. We're sorry we wore you down and made you act in your own benefit and self-interest in the name of commerce.
Someone in the chat, sorry, this one cracked me up. Someone in the chat says Nasser has the balls to call CB, but can't get a girl to get a date, or can't call a girl to get a date.
That is kind of weird.
Let's see here.
You are tenacious. I'll give you that. The fact that you got him on the phone, second time, and it's pretty impressive. But yeah, can't you ask a girl out? Hello?
I mean, which girl? I don't know many. I don't know many people that all by me.
Well, you live in a small town, Chicago, so there might be a few people around.
Well, you're saying to call somebody. Who am I going to call?
Ghostbusters.
His standards are high.
Ballbuster.
Darth Bobcat says, I'll still watch your Cleveland interview. Bad crossovers are still cool, and you're still two of my favorite online celebrities. It's not like I won't promote it. It just didn't go the way I wanted it to. I'm not embarrassed of it. I'm just sad about it. Gojirify, Eagle has landed, and they want their takeout, Mike. Teresa the Kid, love hearing your story. Uncle E, my brother doesn't talk to me anymore because I voted for Trump. That's the worst. That is the worst. My grandma was like that. I had to talk to my grandma. She's like, I'm not voting for that man. He says curse words. I was like, Grandma, I hear you saying worse around the house whenever I'm over here. What are you talking about? But half of the family voted for Trump and the other half didn't. We were at least we can all get along. We all love each other. MT Dixon, $2. I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a pie. I got my pumpkin pie upstairs.
Is it Costco pumpkin pie?
Walmart.
Do you put
Costco
whipped cream on it?
pumpkin pie is the best.
You put whipped cream on it or ice cream?
I'll put whipped cream on it tonight. I have maybe 3/4 of it left. And
funny, Cecil. I asked that before.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that. I don't care anymore. I don't care.
It's fall. It's sweater weather.
It's fall. It's fall, and all I'm doing is drawing frogs. I'm going to get into this pie.
Somebody told me to call Robbie Rodriguez. Cecil, we got to make that happen. We got to make that a stream with your mask.
Okay.
Chris W., how many of you wimps had the balls to call Marvel Hail Nasser?
I called Marvel all the time.
Nasser continually impresses us. Nasser goes after people, and he does it like he brings shame to people who need to be shamed. Nasser's really good at shaming people.
Yeah, it's because I'm used to being shamed.
Put that on your resume.
It's just one more of his accomplishments. It's just one more reason why we love Nasser. He's very good at shaming people.
The problem is those people don't know shame, so I don't think it helps.
That is true. That is true. James Dean Company, $5. It occurred to me that spending money on cash grab and not getting the book is still more fun and valuable than getting disappointing comments.
Bro, for real. Like, I'm looking forward to not getting a book from Cecil.
Getting jacked by Cecil and Nurkish is pretty funny. It is pretty funny. I mean, it's just like, you're being robbed by them, but you're like, oh, here's my wallet.
Well, like Cecil says, there's a disclaimer in the title. It says cash grab. So.
Yeah. It's just great. Well hung and dung. Cecil, does Nasser have a tenacious D?
No, he does. That's the one part of him that's not tenacious. He's got to get laid, this kid.
Interesting T Gang. Thanks for a $2 donation. Appreciate you guys. All right, I'm gonna go take a break. I'm gonna go be with my family for a little bit. I will resume the live stream in 2 hours. 2 hours, and then we're gonna go all night long until Cyberfrog ends. Oh my God, what am I nuts? Yeah, I am. Well, 7 hours. 7 hours left. We're at $77,258. We're gonna totally do a telethon when we get back. No more of this weirdness. It's just gonna be a full-on telethon. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna sell some comics. I encourage everybody who is selling a comic right now to be a part of this. It's gonna be just like the last night that we spent with Captain Comics.
Can I ask you one favor, Ethan?
Yeah.
Nurkish is 300 subs away from 10,000. If everybody could sub him, let's cheer him up. He's going through a tough time, and let's cheer him up and get him 10,000 tonight.
Who?
Nurkish.
Oh, Nurkish.
300 subs away from 10,000. I think it would be nice.
Maybe I'll even subscribe to him. Sorry.
I'm feeling really sad.
I subscribed
just
to him a
need,
long
like,
time
30
ago.
to get 1,000.
Yeah, everyone subscribe to Nurkish, please.
I don't know where I am, but I'm sad too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make
I
me
need
cry.
30 for 1,000.
Listen, you can't play that game, Mike. You cry over everything.
Whoa.
All right, so Nick Zona Trash, when do you have to leave to start your night shift work at Denny's? Oh, I wish my life was that easy. Can you imagine? I'd love that. I'd love to go work at Denny's.
God, I would love a grand
What's
slam
stopping
right
you?
now.
Wait, was that targeted at me?
It might have been, but it didn't. Oh no, it said Mike. It said Mike. Mike. I thought it was at me.
Yeah, I'm already at Denny's. I'm on my break.
Honey Badger Radio says, I appreciate the badgering, though. Go make money. Go make money for yourself. You can do it. We can do it. You can do it, too. All right, guys. Love you. I'll see you in 2 hours. All right?
All right.
All
See
right.
ya.
Bye-bye.
Guys.